Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Astronomer, a quiet corner of the cosmos where curiosity slows down, and science becomes a lullaby for the mind. If you find calm in these journeys through space and thought, subscribing to the Sleepy Astronomer would mean the world. It helps this little constellation of wonder reach others who need a moment of stillness beneath the same night sky. Tonight, we'll drift into one of the grandest cosmic events imaginable. What truly happens when one galaxy eats another? Not with chaos or violence, but with the patience of gravity itself. Two galaxies, floating in the dark sea of space, slowly drawn together by invisible threads. Their spiral arms stretch and twist, their stars mingle and scatter, until, over billions of years, they merge into one. It is a dance, not a war. A quiet merging of light and motion, where destruction becomes creation, and chaos transforms into beauty. New stars are born from the turmoil, fresh worlds begin to glow, and what once were two galaxies become one grand, reimagined shape, a larger, calmer home for the future of stars. So take a slow breath. Let the rhythm of orbit and time settle into your chest. Even in collision, there is grace. Even in endings, there are beginnings. This is the Sleepy Astronomer. And tonight, we'll watch galaxies fall into each other's arms, and become something new. You drift softly into the dark expanse, your body weightless, suspended in a calm sea of nothingness. Around you, the universe unfolds slowly, deliberately, as if it has all the time in the world. Light glimmers at impossible distances, distant stars forming constellations you will never map completely, yet their presence is intimately familiar. You feel a quiet awe, not of spectacle, but of subtle rhythm, the heartbeat of galaxies as they turn, fold, and sway across the cosmic night. Every galaxy you see stretches like an island of light in a vast, endless ocean. Some are spirals, elegant as the brushstrokes of an unseen painter, their arms curling outward in perfect, measured arcs. Others are elliptical, smooth, and serene, glowing softly as if they have breathed the universe into a steady calm. You sense their slow rotations, each one a silent, deliberate spin that has persisted for billions of years. Your mind slows to match their rhythm, inhaling their quiet certainty, exhaling any restlessness left from the world you have temporarily left behind. Gravity whispers through the void, an invisible thread pulling stars toward one another, shaping the contours of galaxies with a gentle insistence. You feel it as a subtle tug, a slow guiding hand, coaxing motion and formation. It is not forceful or urgent. It is patient and deliberate. Stars emerge from clouds of gas and dust in this silent ballet, igniting with tiny sparks of fusion. Each new star is a small revelation, a quiet reminder that even in the vast emptiness, creation persists. As you float closer to a spiral galaxy, you notice the intricate weave of light and shadow within its arms. Stars congregate in clusters, forming gentle pockets of brilliance surrounded by the dark velvet of space. Nebulae shimmer softly in shades you cannot name, glowing with the energy of countless unseen processes. You imagine drifting through one of these stellar nurseries, your fingertips brushing against wisps of cosmic gas, feeling the warmth of new suns being born. It is a warmth that does not burn, but caresses, wrapping you in the intimate knowledge that life, in its most elemental form, is always renewing. Time here moves differently. You watch a star cluster that seems frozen in mid-formation, and yet you know it has spent millions of years arriving at this point. The universe stretches moments into eons, giving each movement a deliberateness that makes you feel infinitely small, yet deeply connected. There is no rush, no need to measure or hurry. You are a quiet witness, a traveler in a cosmos that has no final destination, only perpetual becoming. Some galaxies in the distance twinkle faintly, their light diffused over unimaginable stretches of space. Each photon you see has traveled for millions, perhaps billions of years, carrying stories of ancient creation. You sense that by observing them, you are touching a history that predates your own existence, yet it feels immediate, intimate. There is a soft tension in this awareness, a reminder that everything is both fleeting and eternal, as delicate and persistent as the glow of a distant star. You notice the interplay of motion and stillness. Stars within galaxies orbit slowly around unseen centers, some tracing perfect circles, others elliptical paths that suggest gentle perturbations. Clouds of gas drift lazily, sometimes pooling to form new clusters, sometimes dispersing across the spiral arms like mist over a cosmic lake. It is a slow dance, each element aware of the others, moving in response, yet not rushed, not hurried. You find your breathing matching the pace of this dance, in and out, a calm echo of the universe's rhythm. Between galaxies, the void stretches infinite and soft. Dark matter weaves its invisible scaffolding, unseen yet shaping the cosmos with quiet authority. You imagine its presence like a gentle wind, guiding the paths of stars and clouds without a sound, without a glance, yet with certainty. It reassures you that even in emptiness, there is structure, there is guidance, and there is the patient unfolding of something far larger than yourself. As your gaze drifts across the spirals and ellipses, the distant twinkles of merging galaxies catch your eye. Some are far enough that their interactions are imperceptible, yet their gravitational whispers hint at slow dances yet to come. You feel anticipation ripple through your mind, gentle and soft, like a promise carried on the cosmic breeze. There is a curiosity that does not disturb your calm but invites reflection. What stories will these galaxies tell when they finally meet, when one swallows another, when the quiet becomes a gentle collision of light and time? You let yourself linger in this awareness, savoring the calm, absorbing the enormity of cosmic patience. The stars, the spirals, the invisible threads of gravity, all continue their work, uninterrupted, eternal. You feel your mind soften, your thoughts becoming like the drifting gas clouds, light and weightless, blending into the slow, meditative flow of the universe. And as you drift further into this calm expanse, your attention shifts subtly toward the passage of time within these galaxies, to the quiet rhythms that mark the age of stars and the unfolding of cosmic history. The universe whispers to you in silence, inviting you to follow its delicate rhythms, to notice not just the motion of galaxies, but the passage of time itself. And as you linger in the soft glow of countless suns, your mind begins to wander gently about the stories written in starlight, about how each star marks a moment in the cosmic clock, waiting for you to trace its quiet, eternal rhythm. You let your gaze linger on a single star, suspended in the calm vastness before you. It burns steadily, a quiet beacon against the darkness. You sense that each star carries within it a story of time, an echo of the universe's unfolding. Some are young and bright, newly born from clouds of gas and dust, their light fresh and eager. Others are old, vast, and patient, having burned for millions or even billions of years. Their glow is deep, knowing, and imbued with a quiet wisdom that only comes from endurance. You feel your own pulse slow, attuning to the rhythm of these stellar clocks, as though the stars themselves are breathing alongside you. Every star you see is a measurement of cosmic history. The youngest stars twinkle faintly at the edges of nebulae, small sparks of life emerging from clouds that stretch across light years. You imagine floating through these clouds, brushing your fingers along the soft, invisible threads of gas. Each tiny spark is a newborn sun, igniting quietly, marking a beginning. You feel wonder in the subtlety of it, the gentle persistence of creation, and a sense of calm washes over you as you consider the patience required for stars to come alive. Older stars radiate a steadiness that is almost meditative. Their light is softer, slower, and you can almost hear the slow pulse of their nuclear heart. Some have expanded into giants, filling their surroundings with a quiet, golden warmth. You follow their paths through space, noticing how each has influenced the stars and gas around them over eons. They are teachers, guiding the evolution of galaxies with their gravitational presence and the energy they release. You sense that by simply observing, you are participating in this silent instruction, learning the language of cosmic time. Clusters of stars gather nearby, each group a gentle reminder of shared histories. Within these clusters, younger stars shimmer more vibrantly, while older companions radiate a quiet, enduring light. You drift among them, feeling their rhythms overlap, intertwining like soft harmonies in an eternal symphony. The juxtaposition of age and youth is comforting, a gentle reminder that time is both measured and fluid. You notice that while each star marks a point along the cosmic timeline, the clusters themselves are stories in motion, living archives of the galaxy's past and present. Time itself feels tangible as you move through this celestial scene. You see stars in different stages of life, from their first ignitions to their quiet fades. Some will become white dwarfs, others will explode into supernovae, scattering matter and light across space. You imagine that you can trace these cycles as a kind of cosmic clock, each event a subtle tick that echoes through the void. The galaxy, in turn, pulses with these rhythms, carrying forward the memory of every star that has ever shone. You feel a soft connection to this continuity, a reminder that even amidst immense scales and distances, there is order and progression. The light you see now may have traveled for millions of years, yet it arrives with immediacy, as if time itself bends in acknowledgement of your presence. You follow the faint glimmers from ancient stars at the edges of their galaxies, sensing their age and persistence. They shine with a soft persistence that is both calming and humbling. Each photon carries a story, a chronicle of nuclear fusion, of formation, of eons lived and endured. You feel as though you are holding a conversation across time, listening without words to the subtle messages encoded in light. Some stars, the massive ones, live briefly but intensely. Their lifespans are measured in millions rather than billions of years, yet they leave vivid marks on the galaxy's structure. You watch a massive star nearing the end of its life, its outer layers glowing and expanding. It seems urgent, energetic, yet there is still a quietness to its final act, a graceful acknowledgement of the role it has played. You feel the rhythm of endings as naturally as beginnings, understanding that every star, regardless of lifespan, contributes to the ongoing cadence of galactic life. In the quiet spaces between the stars, dark matter and gas continue their patient work. You sense how they shape the movement of these stellar clocks, guiding them along paths that may take millions of years to complete. Orbits twist and bend, stars drift into new configurations, and yet the fundamental rhythm remains. You feel the universe as a layered symphony, each star a note, each cluster a chord, with dark matter as the subtle resonance holding it all together. The music is slow, deliberate, and deeply calming, inviting your mind to slow, to synchronize with its tempo. You notice the interplay of light and shadow, of age and youth, as galaxies stretch across your vision. Each star contributes to a larger story, a timeline that moves inexorably forward, yet with a patient grace. You feel your consciousness softening, becoming a quiet witness to these rhythms, aware that you are part of the same ongoing passage of time, however briefly. There is a profound comfort in this awareness, a gentle reassurance that life, growth, and memory persist on scales far beyond your own, yet resonate intimately within you. As you drift among these stellar clocks, a curiosity begins to surface softly in your mind. If stars are the keepers of time, what deeper patterns might they reveal? What connections ripple across galaxies, carried quietly by gravity and light? The gentle questions swirl around you without urgency, inviting exploration, reflection, and a slow, meditative understanding of cosmic history. You drift deeper into the cosmos, letting your mind follow the invisible paths that connect every star, every cluster, and every galaxy. Around you, the vast emptiness hums with subtle order, a delicate rhythm that you can feel but cannot touch. It is the quiet authority of gravity, the gentle sculptor that shapes the universe, binding together matter and energy with invisible hands. You sense it as a soft pull beneath your awareness, a force that has orchestrated the movement of stars for billions of years, yet never shouts or demands, only guides. Every galaxy you observe is held in balance by these invisible threads. Spirals twist in elegant, unhurried arcs, their arms curling outward as if following the faint tracings of an unseen artist. Elliptical galaxies glide through space with calm steadiness, their shapes molded by gravity's patient hand. Even the wisps of gas between stars are not random. They drift along gravitational currents, slowly accumulating, forming new clouds, and collapsing into clusters of newborn stars. You feel the quiet assurance that every motion, every orbit, is purposeful, even if imperceptible to the eye. Gravity is patient and invisible, yet its effects are everywhere. You watch a star cluster slowly orbit a galactic center, each star tracing a path dictated by these unseen threads. There is no hurry in their motion. The paths are precise, yet soft, fluid, a rhythm that encourages your own breathing to match its calm cadence. It is as though the universe itself is inviting you to slow down, to notice the gentle pulls that shape every structure, from the smallest star to the largest galaxy. Clouds of gas ripple through these invisible currents. You drift among them, observing the subtle interactions that lead to star formation. Gravity gathers matter together, drawing atoms and molecules into delicate spirals and clouds. Over millions of years, these clouds condense, giving birth to clusters of stars, each one a tiny heartbeat in the galaxy's larger rhythm. You sense the patience required, the slow weaving of matter, and the quiet persistence that allows creation to unfold without urgency or interference. Even the smallest stars are guided by these threads. Their orbits are influenced not only by the galaxy around them but by the faint gravitational tugs of distant companions, stretching across space unseen. You imagine the gentle tug of a faraway star shaping the path of another, a silent conversation across light years. There is a profound calm in imagining this invisible network, a reassurance that everything, no matter how distant, is connected and guided by forces far larger than yourself. Gravity shapes more than stars and clouds. It organizes entire galaxies. You see pairs of galaxies slowly drifting toward one another, their mutual attraction bending paths across millions of years. Streams of stars stretch outward, forming tidal tails that shimmer like soft rivers of light. There is beauty in this slow convergence, a poetry in the way galaxies respond to one another's pull. You feel a quiet sense of wonder, sensing the unseen strings that orchestrate these grand cosmic dances, and your mind follows them gently, curious and reverent. You begin to notice how gravity creates structure on scales both intimate and immense. Spiral arms, star clusters, and nebulae all obey subtle rules, their shapes emerging from the interplay of forces too large to see directly. Yet in every movement, there is intention, a harmony that persists across billions of years. You feel yourself floating along these currents, a quiet observer in a universe that unfolds with deliberation, where every orbit, every collapse, every drift is a note in a cosmic symphony that resonates with calm persistence. The black holes at the centers of galaxies reveal gravity's power most clearly. You drift near one of these immense objects, feeling the soft but undeniable pull of its presence. Stars orbit it slowly, gas spirals inward, and yet there is no chaos, only a deliberate choreography. Gravity here is both gentle and commanding, shaping the future of entire galaxies without rushing, without panic. You sense that even in the darkness of a black hole's influence, there is rhythm, order, and a subtle invitation to trust in the patience of the cosmos. Between galaxies, gravity weaves even subtler tapestries. Dark matter, invisible and pervasive, forms scaffolding that guides the motion of clusters and superclusters. You imagine this ghostly presence as a quiet wind, shaping orbits, nudging galaxies into formations over eons. Even without light or substance, its influence is undeniable. You feel the universe as a living network, every element part of an intricate web, each thread a whisper of connection, a reminder that all things move together in a grand, slow embrace. The interplay of stars, clouds, and galaxies reveals gravity's poetry. You watch spiral arms curl and stretch, gas clouds gather and collapse, stars drift in subtle arcs. Everything is connected, every movement a reflection of forces that cannot be seen but are always present. You sense the patience of the universe in these motions, a calm that is both reassuring and awe-inspiring. Your breathing slows, matching the rhythm of countless orbits, your mind tracing the gentle curves of invisible threads that guide the cosmos. As you linger in this web of gravity, your thoughts become gentle waves. You notice how these invisible threads extend beyond what you can see, linking galaxies, clusters, and voids in a cosmic lattice. You feel that each star, each cloud, and each galaxy is part of a larger story, one that unfolds silently, patiently, and inevitably. There is no rush, no urgency, only the quiet, persistent pull that shapes every corner of the universe. And as you float among these currents, the question begins to whisper softly. If gravity is the silent guide of stars and galaxies, what new patterns might emerge when these cosmic threads pull galaxies together, when they meet, merge, and reshape each other in slow, deliberate motion? You drift into the vast darkness where two galaxies begin their approach, each carrying billions of stars in a silent, elegant procession. Their paths are slow, deliberate, measured over millions of years, yet you feel the anticipation as though it were a tangible current in the void. The galaxies draw closer with the gentle insistence of gravity, each orbit bending subtly in response to the other's presence. You sense the enormity of their mass, the quiet power that guides them, and the inevitable moment when their edges begin to brush against one another. Stars within these galaxies are far apart, so the collisions you imagine do not happen with explosive force. Instead, they move past each other like dancers in an intricate ballet, avoiding direct contact yet responding to the gravitational tugs that ripple across the galaxies. You feel a sense of calm in this, understanding that even in apparent chaos, there is rhythm, there is order, and there is a gentle choreography that unfolds with exquisite patience. Each star adjusts its orbit ever so slightly, tracing paths that will carry it into new cosmic arrangements, soft arcs that shimmer in the darkness. Clouds of gas respond differently. They ripple and stretch as the gravitational forces tug at them, forming streams that flow between the galaxies like ethereal rivers. Nebulae stretch and fold, creating luminous curtains of color that sway softly in the vast expanse. You imagine drifting through these clouds, feeling the coolness of space against your skin, sensing the delicate pull of gravity that guides each particle. It is a gentle motion, slow and deliberate, reminding you that even in tremendous cosmic events, there is no rush, only the persistent, quiet unfolding of transformation. The galaxies begin to intertwine, their spirals brushing and curling into one another. You notice bridges of stars forming between them, elongated arcs that shimmer with soft light. These tidal streams carry stars from one galaxy to another, a subtle exchange of history and matter. You sense the quiet intimacy of this process, the way two vast systems can meet without violence, exchanging energy and material as naturally as water flowing between streams. There is an elegance here that is profound, a lesson in patience and balance written in the movements of entire worlds. As you float among these cosmic currents, you feel the energy released by the gentle compression of gas clouds. Some regions brighten as stars ignite, triggered by the gravitational nudges of the approaching galaxy. Star formation accelerates in a quiet burst of creation, scattered like sparks along the sweeping arcs of colliding clouds. You sense the delicate balance between chaos and order, the way destruction and creation coexist, not in conflict but in harmony. Even the softest glow of a newborn star is a marker of this cosmic conversation. You notice that galaxies do not simply merge in one moment, but in an intricate, layered process. The cores of the galaxies spiral toward each other, pulled together by gravity, while outer arms stretch, twist, and ripple. Stars that were once neighbors find themselves drifting along new paths, some gently flung outward, others drawn toward the luminous centers. You feel the subtle rhythm of these interactions, a quiet pulse that resonates with the entire structure of the galaxies. It is a cosmic heartbeat, steady and calm, marking the progress of transformation. Dark matter plays its unseen role in this encounter. Its invisible gravity shapes the larger motions, guiding the galaxy's paths like a hidden conductor. You sense its presence in the subtle curves of the orbits, the careful arrangement of clusters, and the gentle folds of tidal streams. Though you cannot see it, you feel it everywhere, a reassuring framework that allows this monumental collision to occur with grace rather than chaos. The galaxies move along these hidden tracks, each star and cloud aware, in a way you cannot perceive, of the grand architecture of the cosmos. The merging galaxies create visual poetry. Spiral arms curl into one another, their colors blending into diffuse, glowing clouds. Stars shimmer along arcs, like luminous threads weaving together the fabric of two worlds. You float above the scene, absorbing the calm, meditative beauty of this slow convergence. There is no rush, no violence, only a persistent, inevitable drawing together, a graceful alignment that stretches across millions of years and light-years of space. The enormity of it does not overwhelm, it invites quiet reflection, a deep breathing alongside the measured pace of the universe itself. You watch the central regions of the galaxies begin their careful approach. Massive stars and clusters trace complex orbits around one another, their paths bending under the mutual pull of gravity. Clouds of dust and gas coil and fold in response, creating luminous spirals and arcs. You notice the subtle differences in density and velocity, the way each galaxy's character persists even as they merge. There is a softness here, a gentle acknowledgement that even enormous forces can act with care, shaping without tearing, blending without erasing. The entire encounter unfolds over time scales that are almost impossible to imagine. Millions of years stretch like waves, each one carrying the galaxies closer together. You sense the patience embedded in the universe, the calm precision that allows two massive systems to meet and interact in ways that are both dynamic and gentle. You feel a quiet resonance with this patience, a sense that time itself is measured not in minutes or hours, but in the steady unfolding of cosmic intention. As the galaxies drift together, you notice subtle sparks of light along their bridges. Some stars have been flung outward, forming new arcs and clusters, while others sink slowly toward the centers, drawn by the growing mass of combined cores. You feel the quiet persistence of gravity guiding this process, ensuring that every motion is deliberate, every new structure a part of the larger story. The galaxies breathe together in slow harmony, a cosmic meditation that stretches across the void. Your mind begins to wonder gently about what lies ahead. If this slow collision is only the beginning, what forms will emerge once the galaxies have fully merged? How will stars and clouds settle into new patterns? You sense that the quiet beauty you witness is part of a larger journey, one that will continue to unfold long after your gaze drifts elsewhere. The anticipation is soft, reflective, and deeply calming, inviting your mind to follow the gentle rhythm of cosmic transformation. You float quietly above the merging galaxies, watching as one begins to slowly absorb the other. It is a process that has no haste, no sudden violence, only the patient pull of gravity weaving a new cosmic tapestry. Stars from the smaller galaxy drift gently into the arms of the larger one, their paths bending under the quiet insistence of invisible threads. You sense the weight of history in these motions, the stories each star carries as it is drawn into a new home, the gentle persistence of memory and matter combining across unimaginable scales. The process is often called cosmic cannibalism, yet the word feels less violent than it suggests. There is no screaming, no collision of worlds in the way you might imagine. Instead, there is a serene choreography, a graceful blending. Gas clouds merge, twist, and fold, igniting new stars in quiet bursts of light. You follow their gentle arcs, imagining each newborn star as a spark of continuity, a marker that even in change, the universe preserves beauty and balance. Tidal streams ripple outward, carrying remnants of the smaller galaxy like whispers of a past identity. Stars trace long, luminous arcs that shimmer softly across the void, creating bridges between the merging systems. You drift along these streams, feeling the gentle tension of motion, the slow, unhurried transfer of energy and matter. It is a cosmic dance, measured not in hours or years, but in eons. You sense a rhythm that is subtle yet profound, a slow heartbeat that guides the transformation of entire galaxies. The larger galaxy does not simply consume, it reshapes and integrates. You watch clusters of stars settle into new orbits, forming patterns that were not there before. Spiral arms twist slightly, incorporating streams of stars from their companion. You feel the quiet intelligence in this process, the way the universe maintains harmony even in change. There is a poetic inevitability here, a reminder that growth often involves gentle transformation, not destruction. Gas clouds play a delicate role in this cosmic merging. As they are drawn toward the larger galaxy, they collapse and fragment, forming new stars in quiet, luminous nurseries. These regions glow softly, scattered along tidal tails and spiral arms, a gentle punctuation in the vast dark of space. You imagine drifting through one of these clouds, the warmth of creation brushing your senses, sensing the quiet persistence that allows life to emerge even amidst enormous gravitational forces. Black holes, silent and immense, guide the central dynamics of this merging. You feel their pull as stars and gas spiral inward toward the dense cores of the galaxies. These black holes shape the orbits and structure of the newly forming system, a subtle reminder that even the darkest and most mysterious forces in the universe can orchestrate order and balance. You sense the patience in their pull, the way they gather material slowly, deliberately, reshaping the very heart of the galaxy without haste or noise. You notice the contrast between what is lost and what is gained. Some stars drift outward, flung by the gravitational tugs into intergalactic space, luminous travelers carrying the history of their origin. Others are drawn inward, becoming part of the new, integrated galaxy. There is a beauty in this balance, a reflection of the universe's quiet wisdom. You feel the calm inevitability of these processes, the gentle reminder that even immense change can occur with grace and rhythm. Throughout this merging, light and shadow play across the galaxy's surfaces. Bright clusters shimmer against diffuse clouds of gas, highlighting the complex tapestry of matter in motion. You imagine tracing each star's path, observing the careful choreography that unfolds without hurry. There is a gentle poetry in the way energy and matter move together, a soft music that resonates with patience and inevitability. You sense that by simply observing, you are participating in this cosmic harmony, attuning to rhythms far larger and slower than your own. The smaller galaxy contributes more than just stars and gas. Its history, encoded in the motion of its stars and the chemical composition of its gas clouds, merges with the larger galaxy's legacy. You feel this integration as a conversation across eons, a dialogue written in orbits and luminosity. It is a quiet reminder that the universe preserves memory, even as it transforms, carrying forward the essence of what once was into something new, larger, and gently reimagined. As the galaxies continue their union, star formation rises and falls like a soft tide. You follow newborn stars along their luminous arcs, sensing the quiet joy of creation amidst the vast, patient merging. Some regions glow intensely for a time, then dim as clouds are exhausted and collapse slows. You feel the rhythm of this process, the ebb and flow of cosmic energy, a meditation on persistence, balance, and continuity. You drift along the outer edges, observing stars flung outward, tidal tails stretching across empty space. These are reminders of the past, faint threads connecting the old galaxy to its new home. You imagine each star as a whisper, carrying stories from one galactic body to another, a gentle continuity that persists even amidst dramatic change. There is a quiet satisfaction in this, a reflection of the universe's inherent grace. As the galaxies slowly settle into one another, their cores grow more centralized, the gravitational forces smoothing orbits and creating a new symmetry. Spiral arms form, arcs and clusters settle into patterns that speak of both histories. You feel the calm inevitability of this cosmic integration, the quiet, enduring power of gravity, and the poetry of matter finding its place. The merging is not a violent conquest, but a patient, meditative process of becoming, of one galaxy carrying forward the essence of another. You float above the merging galaxies, your senses attuned to the gentle pulse of creation unfolding beneath you. Clouds of gas stretch like translucent veils, drifting lazily in the vast cosmic sea. These clouds respond to the subtle tugs of gravity, folding, stretching, and compressing with slow precision. You feel the rhythm of their movement, a patient cadence that mirrors the quiet patterns of your own breath. Within these clouds, the ingredients for life and light gather, forming the seeds of stars that will shine across the universe for millions or billions of years. The process begins almost imperceptibly. Regions of higher density emerge, pockets of gas that attract more matter through their own gravity. Slowly, these pockets collapse inward, spiraling toward the center of their nascent clusters. You sense the delicate balance at play. Too little matter, and the collapse falters. Too much, and it accelerates with irresistible energy. Each cloud carries its own rhythm, a unique pulse that will determine the size, brightness, and lifespan of the stars it nurtures. A quiet brilliance begins to appear as the first stars ignite. They flare to life with a gentle radiance, illuminating the surrounding clouds in soft, warm light. You drift among these stellar nurseries, feeling the intimacy of creation. The newborn stars do not shine aggressively. Their light is calm, almost whispering, a quiet announcement of existence. You sense the subtlety of their energy, the way it propagates through the clouds, nudging surrounding matter, triggering the birth of other stars in a delicate chain reaction. Some regions glow brighter than others, areas where gas is abundant and gravitational forces converge more efficiently. These starbursts are concentrated pockets of light, luminous clusters that shine like scattered lanterns in the dark. You notice how each star contributes to the rhythm of the cluster, not individually dominant, but collectively forming a soft, harmonious glow. There is a gentle poetry in this, a quiet reminder that creation often occurs not in isolation, but through the careful interplay of many elements working together. Even as new stars are born, older stars continue their quiet presence. You observe ancient giants nearby, their steady light a calm backdrop to the lively activity of the nurseries. These older stars have lived through countless orbits and witnessed the slow dance of the merging galaxies. Their glow is tempered by age, soft yet persistent, a reminder of endurance and continuity. You sense that the new stars emerging among them are not replacements but companions, adding new layers to an ongoing narrative that stretches across eons. The gas clouds themselves are not passive. You watch as they ripple and stretch, influenced by both the gravitational pull of the galaxies and the energy released by newly formed stars. Ultraviolet light and stellar winds push and mold the surrounding matter, creating cavities and arcs, gentle waves of turbulence that will guide the next generation of stars. You feel a calm fascination at this interplay, the way energy and matter communicate through movement and light, shaping the cosmos without haste or chaos. Massive stars appear first, their size and heat remarkable yet not overwhelming. They burn intensely but briefly, their energy igniting nearby clouds and triggering further collapse. You watch these silent giants perform their cosmic work, their presence fleeting yet vital. It is a delicate reminder that even the briefest life can leave a lasting imprint, that creation often comes from concentrated, patient effort rather than dramatic explosions. You drift through the glow of their light, feeling the warmth of distant energy brushing against your awareness. As you move through these nurseries, you notice subtle variations in color and brightness. Young stars appear bluish, their heat more intense, while slightly older stars take on softer yellows and oranges. These gradients create a flowing, almost painterly effect, a visual symphony that calms and mesmerizes. You imagine tracing each star's life path, from its first ignition to the steady rhythm it will maintain for millions of years. There is a gentle reassurance in this continuity, a quiet meditation on endurance and transformation. Tidal streams from the merging galaxies stretch across the dark void, carrying stars and gas into new regions. You observe how these streams intersect with the star-forming clouds, creating additional pockets of compression and ignition. Stars form in clusters along these bridges, their combined light shimmering like a delicate river of luminous pearls. You feel a sense of wonder at the universe's subtle efficiency, its ability to recycle matter and energy into new forms, quietly orchestrating renewal amidst immense scales. You sense the interplay of chaos and order, of compression and expansion. Starbursts emerge, flicker, and settle into clusters, each cluster a soft heartbeat in the rhythm of the merging galaxies. The older stars watch silently, lending perspective and continuity to the transient activity around them. You notice how energy disperses gradually, radiating into surrounding space, shaping the future potential for star formation. The process is neither frantic nor abrupt. It is measured, deliberate, and profoundly calming. Even in the heart of these star-forming regions, you detect the invisible influence of dark matter. Its gravitational presence guides the paths of gas and stars, creating stability amidst dynamic motion. You feel it as a subtle framework, a silent guide that ensures the patterns forming in the merging galaxies will be coherent, graceful, and sustainable over vast spans of time. There is quiet reassurance in this hidden support, a reminder that even unseen forces are essential in the orchestration of cosmic life. You drift slowly above these luminous nurseries, watching the soft interplay of light, gas, and gravitational guidance. Each cluster, each newborn star, each ripple in the gas clouds feels like a gentle meditation, a cosmic rhythm that invites your mind to settle and breathe. The galaxies themselves are alive with motion, yet their energy is soft, without urgency, allowing you to absorb the quiet majesty of creation in a relaxed, reflective way. As the starbursts continue, you feel a growing sense of anticipation for what is yet to unfold. The merging galaxies carry potential for new patterns, new orbits, and the eventual reshaping of their central regions. You sense that the quiet brilliance of these newborn stars is only one part of a much larger story, a soft prelude to the deeper transformations that lie ahead. Your mind rests in this gentle flow, attuned to the calm rhythm of cosmic creation and ready to follow the galaxies toward the heart of their merging cores. You drift gently toward the heart of the merged galaxies, feeling a subtle change in the flow of space around you. Gravity becomes more insistent here, drawing stars and gas into tighter, slower orbits. At the very center lies the black heart of the galaxy, a supermassive black hole, invisible yet undeniably present. You feel its quiet authority, a force so immense that it commands the motion of billions of stars and the trajectories of countless clouds of gas. Its presence is profound, yet calm, a patient sculptor at the core of the cosmic structure. From a distance, the black hole feels serene. There is no roar or flash of violence in its pull, only a steady, unyielding tug. Stars orbit around it in slow, deliberate paths, tracing invisible lines that spiral inward toward the center. You sense the history embedded in these orbits, billions of years of motion, collisions, and gravitational nudges, all choreographed by this hidden, central presence. The black hole holds the galaxy together, providing structure and stability amidst the chaos of merging worlds. Gas clouds respond differently. As they drift closer, the black hole's gravity compresses and stretches them, creating luminous arcs of ionized matter. These glowing streams ripple outward, shaping the dynamics of star formation near the galactic core. You float along these arcs, feeling the energy as a gentle warmth, not overwhelming, but persistent. The clouds do not fall instantly into the abyss. They spiral gradually, guided by the invisible threads of gravity and momentum, tracing paths that may last millions of years. The supermassive black hole is not an empty void, but a powerful anchor. Its gravitational influence orchestrates the galaxy's inner regions with a quiet precision. Stars follow elongated ellipses and intricate loops, maintaining balance through delicate interactions. You notice how even small deviations in their orbits are corrected over time, as if the galaxy itself breathes in response to the pull of its central heart. There is harmony here, a silent reassurance that even in extreme conditions, order persists. Occasionally, matter draws too close and is consumed, spiraling into the black hole in brilliant flares of energy. You observe these accretion events from a respectful distance, sensing their intensity without being overwhelmed. Gas and dust heat up as they fall, glowing brightly in X-rays and ultraviolet light, yet there is a calm inevitability to it. The black hole does not act with malice. It simply follows the laws of gravity, consuming what drifts too near, shaping the future of the galaxy through this quiet, controlled process. Around the black hole, stars move in tight, coordinated orbits, forming dense clusters that shine with steady brilliance. You sense the interplay of gravitational forces, the central pull of the black hole, the tug of neighboring stars, and the influence of the surrounding mass of the galaxy. Each star moves in response to multiple influences, yet the system maintains balance, an elegant testimony to the patience of cosmic dynamics. You float among these clusters, feeling the delicate rhythm of motion and the quiet wisdom encoded in billions of years of history. You notice subtle patterns emerging in the inner galaxy. Spiral arms curve toward the center, guiding clouds of gas along luminous pathways. Star formation continues, triggered by the gentle compression of gas clouds caught in the gravitational web. You feel a sense of wonder at how creation and destruction coexist. Stars are born near the black hole's edge, while matter is slowly consumed at its core. This cycle of renewal is slow, meditative, and profoundly calming, a cosmic rhythm that invites reflection rather than awe or fear. Dark matter extends its influence even here, unseen but essential. Its presence stabilizes orbits, preventing chaos in a region of immense gravitational stress. You sense it as a quiet scaffold, holding together the inner galaxy, shaping the paths of stars, gas, and clusters. Its influence is invisible, yet undeniable, a subtle reminder that some of the most important forces in the universe operate silently, guiding without announcement. You feel a deep reassurance in this, a lesson that patience and persistence often matter more than immediate visibility or action. The black hole also affects the wider galaxy. Tidal forces stretch gas clouds outward, sometimes creating luminous jets that extend thousands of light-years into intergalactic space. You float along one of these jets, feeling the faint energy and light that it carries. Though it is powerful, it does not dominate or overwhelm. Instead, it adds structure and rhythm to the surrounding galaxy, shaping paths of gas and stars in a deliberate, measured way. The universe operates with subtlety, and even immense forces act with a kind of soft precision. You watch as stars near the center trace intricate orbits over millions of years. Some will drift outward, others inward, yet all move in concert with the gravitational influence of the black hole. You sense the patient persistence of this central force, a quiet conductor ensuring that the galaxy maintains balance despite the turmoil of merging histories. Each orbit, each spiral, is part of a slow, deliberate symphony that continues uninterrupted across eons. As you linger above the black heart, you notice the interplay of light and shadow. The luminous arcs of gas, the steady glow of older stars, and the faint hints of dark matter all combine to create a visual rhythm that soothes and mesmerizes. You sense the galaxy as a living organism, its heartbeat defined by gravity and motion, its pulse quiet yet powerful. The black hole is not a destroyer, but a guide, shaping the galaxy's evolution with invisible, patient hands. The quiet influence of the black heart draws your mind gently toward contemplation. You realize that the galaxy's core is both an ending and a beginning. Matter consumed here may feed new stars or shape future structures. The merging galaxies, the starbursts, and the tidal streams all converge toward this center, creating a nexus of history, energy, and potential. You feel a calm anticipation for what this central force will reveal in the next stages of cosmic evolution. You drift slowly along the edge of the merged galaxies, your senses are tuned to the subtle currents that ripple across the cosmic ocean. There, stretching outward like delicate threads, are the tidal tails, long streams of stars and gas pulled from their original orbits, reaching into the darkness like luminous ribbons. You notice their gentle shimmer against the black void, soft and almost musical, as if each star hums a quiet note in an endless symphony. These streams are traces of transformation, quiet evidence of the galaxy's slow, intricate dance. The stars in the tidal tails are not chaotic or scattered. They follow graceful arcs dictated by the gravity of the central mass, bending and stretching along invisible paths. You float alongside these stellar rivers, noticing the interplay of light and shadow, the way clusters reflect softly upon one another. Each star seems both lonely and part of a larger community, a duality that evokes calm reflection. There is melancholy here, yes, for these stars have left their old neighborhoods, yet there is also wonder, as they are being woven into a broader, evolving tapestry. Gas clouds follow similar currents, trailing behind the stars and forming soft, glowing arcs. They ripple and bend, sculpted by tidal forces, creating delicate waves of matter that stretch for thousands of light-years. You imagine yourself drifting through one of these clouds, feeling the cool, almost ethereal energy that radiates from it. Within these clouds, future stars may be born, sparked into life by the gentle compression of gas, continuing the cycle of creation even as they journey far from their original homes. Some streams are narrow and luminous, composed mostly of stars gently displaced from their spiral arms. Others are broader and more diffuse, glowing faintly with scattered gas and distant clusters. You notice how the tidal forces have stretched the galaxies like soft, flowing fabric, elongating their form without tearing it apart. There is an elegance here, a reminder that even immense forces can act with care and precision. You feel yourself matching the rhythm of this slow motion, breathing in sync with the subtle pulse of cosmic gravity. As you drift along the tidal tails, you notice faint echoes of past interactions, small ripples and knots of stars that hint at older, smaller mergers. These remnants of earlier collisions linger, quietly shaping the paths of the streams and adding texture to the flowing currents. You sense the passage of time in these patterns, the patient layering of history across billions of years. It is a comforting thought, the way the universe preserves its memory even as it continues to evolve. Clusters of stars appear within the tails, like tiny islands in a river. Some are young, their light bright and playful, born in the turbulence of the merging galaxies. Others are older, more subdued, carrying the quiet weight of long journeys. You drift among them, feeling both intimacy and distance, the closeness of shared motion and the isolation of stars far from the main galactic body. There is a rhythm here, a pulse that is slow yet insistent, guiding your mind toward calm contemplation. You notice subtle color variations in the streams, soft blues and gentle yellows, each hue a reflection of the star's age, temperature, and composition. The interplay of color creates a painterly effect, a visual poetry that soothes rather than overwhelms. You imagine tracing these arcs with your hands, feeling the gentle stretch of gravity as it sculpts the streams into flowing ribbons of light and shadow. It is a meditation in movement, a quiet reminder that beauty often arises from motion itself. The tidal tails are not static. You sense the persistent pull of the central black hole, the gravity of the merged cores tugging gently at the stars. Some stars will drift inward over millions of years, returning to the heart of the galaxy, while others may travel far beyond, destined to become intergalactic wanderers. You feel a deep patience in this process, the way motion unfolds slowly, inevitably, yet without rush or urgency. It is as if time itself bends to the rhythm of the cosmic currents, moving in long, deliberate waves. Between the streams, darkness stretches like a soft fabric, a backdrop against which the stars shine with delicate clarity. You notice that even in these voids, there is subtle structure, faint clouds of gas, invisible dark matter scaffolding, and distant clusters that influence the paths of stars far away. You feel the quiet guidance of unseen forces, gentle yet persistent, shaping the galaxy's evolving form without intrusion or noise. It is a reassurance, a reminder that the universe maintains order even in its most expansive emptiness. You follow one long tidal tail as it arcs away from the main galaxy, bending and twisting like a ribbon caught in a slow, celestial breeze. Stars ripple along its length, clusters shimmer in soft isolation, and the edges of diffuse gas clouds glow faintly in the starlight. You sense both loss and continuity here. The stars have been torn from their original orbits, yet they are not lost. They will find new paths, new neighborhoods, and contribute to the galaxy's evolving story. You feel a gentle melancholy intertwined with quiet hope, a reflective serenity that settles over your mind. As you drift further, the tidal streams begin to fade into the blackness, their faint light hinting at distant galaxies beyond. You notice the soft connections between these streams, the way gravity threads them back to the merged core. Every arc, every curve, every glowing knot tells a story of motion, interaction, and transformation. You sense the persistent creativity of the cosmos, the patient shaping of stars and matter, the quiet persistence that allows beauty to emerge from displacement and change. Even as you follow these streams, your thoughts begin to wander toward the galaxy's emerging forms. Spirals and ellipses will soon settle into new configurations, arms will curl and eddy, and stars will find equilibrium once again. You sense that these tidal tails are a temporary expression of a longer, ongoing process, a reflection of transformation and adaptation. There is calm in this realization, a meditative acknowledgement that the galaxy's story continues to unfold across vast scales of space and time. You drift slowly above the heart of the newly merged galaxy, feeling the lingering motion of countless stars and streams of gas. Their paths, once chaotic and stretched by the merger, begin to settle into patterns, subtle and flowing. Spirals curl gracefully from the central core, their arms twisting and folding like slow-moving rivers of light. You sense the rhythm in their motion, a gentle, meditative pulse that invites your mind to relax and follow the flow. There is a harmony here, a quiet balance between the turbulence of the past and the calm of new structure forming. The spiral arms are luminous threads, weaving clusters of stars and gas into delicate patterns. Young stars glow bright blue along the arms, while older stars provide soft amber light as a steady backdrop. You drift among these arcs, sensing the gentle pull of gravity guiding each star into its orbit. Each twist, each curve is a story of motion and balance, evidence of the forces that shape galaxies over millions of years. There is both elegance and serenity in this process, a reminder that the universe creates order out of apparent chaos with patience and care. Not all galaxies settle into spirals. Some regions gradually smooth into ellipses, where stars orbit in more uniform paths, forming a calm, rounded shape. You notice the contrast. The spirals twist and shimmer with dynamic energy, while the ellipses exude quiet stability, a peaceful flow of matter around a central core. You feel the coexistence of these forms as a reflection of balance, motion and stillness, complexity and simplicity, all blending together in the galaxy's evolving structure. You sense the gravity of the central black hole orchestrating these motions with gentle precision. Stars in the spirals trace elongated paths, responding not only to the core's pull but to the mass of neighboring stars, gas clouds, and dark matter. Each orbit is an echo of past interactions, a cumulative record of gravitational influence. You feel a quiet awe at the patience of these forces, shaping a coherent, graceful structure over time spans far beyond human comprehension. As the spiral arms rotate, you notice subtle variations in density and brightness. Regions rich in gas and dust glow softly, places where star formation continues. Others are more sparse, carrying the older stars of the merging galaxies in gentle arcs. You drift along these arms, feeling the calm rhythm of star clusters orbiting together, twisting in a slow, cosmic dance. It is a soothing spectacle, the galaxy's patterns almost hypnotic in their deliberate, measured motion. You notice tidal streams from the merger still extending outward, faintly echoing the chaotic past. Some of these streams fold back into the spirals, while others stretch into the void, carrying stars far from the central core. You sense both continuity and change here. The galaxy remembers its history even as it moves toward equilibrium. These lingering streams are gentle reminders that transformation is gradual, a process that unfolds with soft persistence rather than sudden completion. In the elliptical regions, stars follow more uniform paths, forming a rounded glow that radiates outward from the center. You drift through this calm expanse, feeling the quiet stability of stellar motion. The stars seem to orbit in silent harmony, their paths weaving a consistent rhythm that contrasts with the twisting spirals. There is serenity in this arrangement, a meditative stillness that balances the active dynamism of the spiral arms. It is as if the galaxy itself breathes, alternating between motion and calm, creation and consolidation. The spiral and elliptical forms are not rigid. You notice subtle interactions, where spirals bend gently toward elliptical regions, and tidal influences stretch clusters across boundaries. Gravity maintains the delicate balance, ensuring that the galaxy's structure evolves smoothly. You feel a sense of comfort in this, recognizing that even in vast systems, order emerges naturally from countless interactions, each star, gas cloud, and cluster moving in harmony with the whole. As you follow the spirals outward, you observe young star clusters glimmering like tiny lanterns. They illuminate the faint, diffuse gas between the arms, giving the galaxy a layered, luminous texture. You sense the continuity of star formation, the soft rhythm of matter compressing and igniting, producing new light to trace the elegant curves of the spiral. There is quiet poetry in this ongoing creation, a gentle reminder that the galaxy's story is far from complete, and that beauty persists even amidst constant motion. You feel the subtle energy of the elliptical regions as well. Older stars drift slowly, orbiting in a calm, steady rhythm. Their light casts a gentle glow across the core, illuminating the center without distraction or brilliance. You sense the balance these stars provide, their quiet persistence stabilizing the inner galaxy and complementing the swirling vibrancy of the spirals. Together, the two forms create a sense of cosmic equilibrium, a galaxy both alive and composed, dynamic yet serene. The spiral arms also carry traces of the merger's tidal tails, faint ribbons of stars and gas weaving through the luminous arcs. You drift alongside these remnants, feeling the quiet story of displacement and return. Stars once torn from their orbits now find new paths within the galaxy's spirals, contributing to the overall harmony. You sense the galaxy's patient work in absorbing the past, integrating what was lost into a coherent, graceful new whole. As you linger above the evolving galaxy, you notice that every arm, cluster, and elliptical region moves with an almost hypnotic rhythm. The star's motions are both deliberate and gentle, creating a soft, meditative pulse that invites calm reflection. You feel connected to this immense, slow process, your mind settling into the natural cadence of cosmic motion. It is a quiet reminder that transformation does not demand chaos. It can unfold with elegance and poise, guided by invisible forces that operate over unimaginable spans of time. You drift gently above the heart of the newly merged galaxy, feeling a profound stillness settling over the cosmos. The violent currents and stretched tidal tails of the recent merger have begun to ease, folding into graceful arcs and soft streams. Stars that once wandered in chaotic, unpredictable paths now trace stable orbits around the central core. You sense the galaxy itself exhaling, a quiet breath of relief and renewal, as if it has learned a new rhythm in the aftermath of transformation. The spiral arms, though still luminous and dynamic, have begun to weave a coherent structure. Their curves are smooth, gently winding toward the core in elegant loops. You follow the light along these arcs, noticing how clusters of young stars glimmer like soft lanterns guiding your path. These stars carry the memories of their origins, the gentle hum of distant galaxies now incorporated into a single, living form. There is calmness in this integration, a sense that the galaxy has begun to reconcile its past with its present. Elliptical regions around the core provide a soft counterpoint to the spirals. Stars drift in consistent, nearly circular orbits, creating a quiet, steady glow. Their light is softer, warmer, less insistent than the young blue stars of the spirals. You float among them, feeling the patience encoded in their motion. These older stars have witnessed the galaxy's transformations, and their presence provides a stabilizing rhythm, a meditation on endurance and continuity. The central black hole continues its silent guidance, pulling on stars and gas with deliberate precision. You feel its influence as a subtle rhythm that governs the inner orbits, balancing the energy of the spirals with the steadiness of the elliptical core. Stars trace their paths like dancers following a masterful conductor, each movement informed by the gravity of the central heart. You sense a quiet symphony unfolding, a measured harmony that is both calming and awe-inspiring. Streams of gas still ripple outward, illuminated by the light of young stars. Some clouds drift lazily along the spiral arms, compressing and forming new clusters in a gentle, ongoing process of creation. You float through one of these glowing regions, sensing the soft warmth of energy released by nascent stars. Their light is a quiet reminder that even after dramatic change, life continues to emerge, patiently, persistently, and beautifully. You notice the remnants of older tidal tails stretching faintly into the void. These streams, once energetic and wild, have now softened, tracing gentle arcs that echo the galaxy's history. Stars within them drift slowly, gradually finding new paths in the gravitational web of the merged galaxy. You sense the persistence of memory here. Each star carries traces of the galaxies it once belonged to, weaving its story into the greater narrative. It is a comforting thought. Even as forms evolve, the universe preserves the essence of what came before. Clusters of stars form intimate neighborhoods along the spiral arms. Young stars shine with playful brightness, orbiting in close proximity to their siblings. Older clusters provide a softer glow, a quiet background that supports the luminous vitality of youth. You drift among them, feeling both intimacy and vastness simultaneously. It is a gentle meditation on community, connection, and the blending of generations across time and space. Dark matter continues to cradle the galaxy in an invisible embrace, providing unseen scaffolding that ensures stability. Though you cannot see it, you sense its presence in the smooth arcs and consistent orbits of stars. The galaxy's form is a product of both visible and invisible forces, a delicate balance between what is present and what is hidden. You feel reassured by this quiet, unseen support, recognizing that much of the universe's stability comes from gentle persistence rather than spectacle. As the spiral arms and elliptical regions settle, the galaxy begins to pulse with a subtle, almost imperceptible rhythm. Stars sway gently in response to gravitational nudges, gas clouds compress and expand, and the core hums softly under the black hole's guidance. You sense the galaxy breathing as a single entity, a living system with its own internal logic and quiet intelligence. The merging of histories has created a cohesive form, yet there is still energy moving, still stories unfolding, waiting to be told. The galaxy is not static. Over millions of years, small oscillations, collisions, and compressions will continue to shape the orbits of stars. You watch faint waves of density propagate along spiral arms, guiding star formation and subtle shifts in stellar paths. There is a poetry in this motion, a gentle reminder that creation and change are ongoing processes. Even in equilibrium, the galaxy is alive, breathing, evolving in quiet, unhurried patterns. Light from the merged stars reflects softly off clouds of gas and dust, creating delicate ribbons of illumination. You float through these luminous threads, noticing how patterns overlap and interlace, a visual echo of the galaxy's complex histories. The interplay of light and shadow, brightness and dimness, is hypnotic, inviting your mind to settle and absorb the subtle beauty of the cosmic choreography. There is serenity in this visual meditation, a quiet joy in observing how matter and energy interact with patience and grace. You notice faint signs of ongoing star formation along the spiral arms. Clouds collapse slowly under gravity, igniting new points of light. These nascent stars are tiny sparks in a larger, unfolding story. You sense their potential, the continuation of life and energy across the galaxy, and feel a gentle anticipation for the stories they will carry into the future. Creation is never-ending, and even after transformation, the universe continues to nurture and evolve. As you drift farther from the core, you notice the galaxy stretching gently into its surroundings, spirals curling and twisting toward faint companions and distant voids. There is a rhythm to this expansion, a sense that the galaxy is both settling and reaching outward, embracing new possibilities while honoring its past. You feel a deep connection to this process, a quiet reflection on how change and growth coexist, each informing the other. You drift softly above the newly settled galaxy, feeling the gentle pull of stars and gas as they move in slow, deliberate arcs. Yet beneath the visible dance of light, there is a presence you cannot see, a subtle force that guides the paths of every star and every cloud of gas, dark matter. It is a quiet scaffolding, a silent architect shaping the galaxy's form with patience and grace. Though invisible, you sense it as a calm, pervasive presence, holding the galaxy together, whispering to each star in gentle, unbroken pulses. The stars' orbits reflect the hidden influence of this unseen matter. You notice how their motion is steady and balanced, neither chaotic nor hurried, as if guided by an invisible hand. In regions where spirals curve and elliptical cores glow, dark matter exerts its subtle gravity, gently nudging stars into patterns of harmony. You float alongside these orbits, feeling the rhythm of the galaxy's structure, a quiet symphony conducted by forces you cannot see but deeply sense. Dark matter is not uniform. It forms a halo around the galaxy, diffuse and mysterious, extending far beyond the luminous edges you can observe. You imagine it as a soft, protective veil, an unseen ocean in which the galaxy drifts. Stars and gas navigate this hidden sea with quiet elegance, their motion attuned to currents you cannot perceive directly. There is comfort in this invisible support, a reassurance that stability does not always require visibility or attention, only persistence and gentle guidance. You follow a stream of stars along a spiral arm, noticing how dark matter shapes their paths subtly. The arm twists and curves, yet the stars maintain delicate balance, their motion neither too fast nor too slow, neither chaotic nor rigid. Each cluster seems to float in its own rhythm, yet all are united by the underlying gravitational web. You sense that dark matter acts not as a force that pushes or pulls in sudden bursts, but as a whisper, a quiet shaping of space itself that ensures order across vast distances. Between the luminous regions, you notice faint gaps, empty spaces where light is scarce. Yet these voids are also under the influence of dark matter, their emptiness guided and contained by an unseen framework. You imagine it as a gentle hand, softly holding the galaxy in form, preventing it from unraveling or stretching too far. The unseen presence is not oppressive or intrusive, it is a patient guardian, a subtle architect whose touch is both firm and delicate. Dark matter also influences the galaxy's spiral arms over long stretches of time. You notice faint waves and ripples along the arms, slight deviations in stellar density, patterns that are almost imperceptible. These subtle features reflect the underlying structure of the dark matter halo, an invisible map guiding creation, motion, and evolution. You float along these ripples, feeling a quiet awe at the patient intelligence of nature, not conscious, but persistent, consistent, and enduring. As you explore the elliptical core, you sense the stabilizing influence of dark matter even more strongly. Stars move in steady orbits, almost meditative in their rhythm. The halo's gentle pull prevents the core from collapsing or dispersing, maintaining harmony across millions of stars. You drift through this calm expanse, feeling the reassuring steadiness of a galaxy held together by unseen hands. There is a deep serenity here, a reminder that stability and structure often arise quietly, without fanfare or spectacle. You notice how dark matter subtly affects star formation. Gas clouds collapse and ignite in regions where its gravitational influence enhances compression. New stars form along spiral arms and tidal streams, glowing softly in the gentle, persistent guidance of an invisible presence. You float among these clouds, feeling the quiet potential of future creation. Even in regions you cannot see, dark matter shapes the flow of matter and energy, creating conditions that allow life and light to emerge naturally, without interruption or force. The galaxy's halo stretches far beyond the visible edge, extending into faint darkness where few stars reside. You sense a quiet, pervasive energy there, like a gentle ocean beneath the surface of visible motion. Dark matter binds not just the luminous core, but the farthest stars and clusters as well, holding the galaxy together as a coherent whole. You float along this outer edge, feeling the subtle rhythm of a structure that is invisible yet essential, a presence that is constant even in apparent emptiness. You imagine dark matter as a storyteller, its invisible threads shaping the narrative of the galaxy over billions of years. Each star's motion, each cloud of gas, each emerging cluster is part of a story whispered into form by this unseen influence. It is not dramatic or loud, but quiet, patient, and pervasive, a cosmic force that guides evolution and growth gently yet unrelentingly. You feel a calm wonder at this subtle interplay of visible and invisible, a meditation on patience, persistence, and unseen strength. Even the merging of galaxies has been influenced by dark matter. As streams of stars and gas stretch and fold, the halo's gentle pull guides their integration into the new galaxy. Stars find new orbits, tidal streams curve and merge, and the overall structure stabilizes under its quiet guidance. You feel a profound sense of continuity here. The galaxy's history, present, and future are interconnected through invisible threads, creating a seamless story that unfolds without haste, yet with perfect balance. You drift farther from the core, observing how spiral arms, elliptical regions, and tidal tails all interact under the quiet influence of dark matter. It is the hidden pulse beneath the galaxy's visible rhythm, the whisper that keeps chaos at bay while allowing life, motion, and creation to continue. You feel the reassurance of a universe where unseen forces provide support, ensuring that even immense systems of stars, gas, and dust remain coherent and harmonious. As you linger in this meditative space, you sense the galaxy as a living, breathing entity, not just a collection of stars and gas, but a system whose movements are guided by both seen and unseen forces. Dark matter is its quiet guardian, shaping the cosmos with gentle persistence. You feel a soft reflection of this truth in your own mind, a recognition that much of life's structure, support, and continuity often comes from what is unseen, subtle, and enduring. You drift gently above the newly settled galaxy, noticing a soft, ethereal glow spreading across its spiral arms. Wisps of gas and dust float gracefully, illuminated by the stars that have already found their places in the cosmic dance. These clouds are delicate yet persistent, drifting like watercolor across a vast, three-dimensional canvas. You sense the slow, deliberate artistry of the galaxy at work, using matter and energy to create shapes, patterns, and light that are both subtle and profound. The clouds vary in density and color. Some are thin, almost transparent, stretching into filaments that catch the light of distant stars. Others are thick and luminous, glowing faintly in ultraviolet or infrared, hinting at regions where new stars are forming. You float among them, feeling the gentle currents of gas that twist and turn under the influence of gravity. It is as if the galaxy itself is painting with invisible brushes, crafting luminous shapes that evolve slowly over millions of years. Dark matter continues to provide unseen guidance, shaping the paths of these clouds as it does the stars. You sense the halo's quiet presence, a scaffold that allows the gas to move, twist, and collapse without dispersing. Within these gentle flows, pockets of higher density begin to form. Gravity pulls them inward, compressing gas into clumps that will one day ignite as new stars. You feel the universe breathing here, inhaling, compressing, and releasing energy in a quiet rhythm that sustains creation. Some clouds ripple like faint waves, responding to nearby stellar winds and supernovae. You watch as a gentle outflow from a dying star nudges a cloud, shifting its shape, stirring it into a new formation. Other clouds drift slowly along the spiral arms, guided by the galaxy's gravity and the invisible currents of dark matter. Each movement is deliberate, yet gentle, a quiet testament to the patient processes that govern the cosmos. You feel a soothing calm in observing these motions, the soft rhythm of cosmic creation lulling your mind into reflection. The interplay of light and shadow across the clouds is mesmerizing. Ultraviolet radiation from nearby young stars illuminates certain regions, creating faint, ghostly glows. Infrared emissions highlight areas dense with dust, warmer and more insulated from external light. You drift through these luminous layers, noticing how the clouds fold and twist, creating pockets of energy and potential. It is a gentle, meditative spectacle, as if the galaxy is both a canvas and a painter, shaping matter into patterns that invite contemplation and wonder. Some regions within the clouds are serene and still, waiting patiently for conditions to trigger star formation. You sense a quiet tension here, a potential energy that is not hurried, only prepared. Other regions are more active, stirred by shockwaves from supernovae, winds from massive stars, or subtle gravitational nudges. These clouds ripple and condense, sometimes forming dense knots that will become clusters of stars. You feel the universe's creativity as a slow, intentional process, deliberate yet unforced, like a painter layering soft brushstrokes over time. As you float deeper into the spiral arms, you notice faint arcs of gas curling around young stars. The light from these nascent stars scatters through the dust, creating halos of soft color that shimmer and dance. You follow these arcs, sensing how each cloud contributes to the larger tapestry, weaving together matter and energy into luminous forms that are both delicate and enduring. The galaxy is alive here, not in motion alone, but in the quiet, continuous act of creation. The clouds also interact with each other, colliding softly, merging, or nudging each other into new shapes. You feel the subtle choreography, the patient rhythm of matter finding its place in a dynamic, evolving structure. Every movement is gentle yet purposeful, as if the galaxy is aware of its own potential, shaping matter and light to sustain life, energy, and growth. You notice that even in this immense system, small interactions ripple outward, influencing distant clouds and guiding the formation of stars in ways both subtle and profound. You notice faint pockets where gravity is compressing gas, forming the beginnings of stellar nurseries. The densest regions glow faintly, signaling the slow ignition of hydrogen into fusion. You sense the quiet energy of these clouds, a gentle promise that new light will emerge, contributing to the galaxy's ongoing story. Each star born here carries the memory of its environment, shaped by the soft, persistent influence of gas flows, dark matter, and the galaxy's gravitational architecture. Even in areas that seem calm or empty, there is subtle motion. Dust drifts in currents, gas ripples gently under unseen forces, and faint radiation pulses through the clouds. You float through this quiet activity, feeling the universe's careful orchestration. Nothing is rushed. Creation unfolds patiently, a meditation in motion. You notice how patterns repeat, spirals curl, filaments stretch, clouds condense, a quiet echo of the processes that govern the galaxy as a whole. The spiral arms themselves appear painted with these clouds, arcs of color and light following the curves of stars. You drift along them, sensing the gentle interweaving of matter and energy. Each cloud, each star, contributes to the evolving structure of the galaxy, participating in a slow, continuous act of artistry. You feel the calm wonder of observing creation not as a sudden event, but as a prolonged, harmonious process. As you rise above the arms, You notice the soft blending of color and light. Blue and pink hues shimmer against deeper shadows, ultraviolet and infrared glow subtly layered over one another. You sense the galaxy as a living canvas, where each cloud and star is both subject and brushstroke, a participant in the quiet act of cosmic artistry. Creation is ongoing here, patient and deliberate, yet gentle and mesmerizing in its beauty. You drift gently through the spiral arms of the galaxy, noticing small concentrations of stars huddled together, forming clusters like luminous villages in the vast darkness. These clusters vary in size and character. Some are densely packed with young, bright stars, shimmering like freshly lit lanterns, while others are older, more subdued, radiating a gentle, amber glow. You sense the personality of each cluster, as though the stars themselves have a quiet presence, a shared rhythm that resonates across space. Young clusters are vibrant, full of energy and movement. Their stars shine in cool blues and brilliant whites, orbiting in tight harmony, sometimes colliding with gentle nudges that create soft bursts of light. You float among them, feeling the playful dynamism, the sense of potential and growth. Each star is a small spark of creation, contributing to the luminous energy of the community, and you notice the bonds formed by shared gravitational dance. Older clusters carry a different energy. Their stars are warmer, glowing softly in amber and gold. They have witnessed the galaxy's transformations over millions, even billions of years, and you sense their quiet wisdom. The orbits are steady, the rhythm unhurried, and the collective glow is comforting, like the steady heartbeat of a timeless neighborhood. You drift through these gentle communities, feeling the contrast between youthful exuberance and mature stability, each illuminating the galaxy in complementary ways. The clusters themselves are not isolated. They are woven into the spiral arms like ornaments on a vast, cosmic tree. Gas clouds, nebulae, and faint streams of stars flow around them, gently shaping their structure and adding to their character. You notice how each cluster maintains its identity while being influenced by the gravitational whispers of the galaxy, a delicate balance between individuality and collective motion. It is a quiet reflection of harmony, a pattern repeated on countless scales across the universe. You follow a young cluster along its orbit, observing the subtle interactions between stars. Some move in close pairs, binaries locked in intimate gravitational embrace. Others drift more freely, their motion guided by the mass of their neighbors and the unseen halo of dark matter enveloping the galaxy. You feel a meditative rhythm in these movements, a gentle cadence that encourages calm observation. The cluster is alive, yet not hurried. Its energy is persistent, measured, and unassuming. Older clusters feel almost like ancient libraries, each star carrying a memory of the galaxy's past. You drift through one, sensing the echoes of long-ago mergers, supernovae, and tidal interactions. These stars are quiet witnesses, their light a soft reflection of the galaxy's evolving story. You feel a connection to their enduring presence, a subtle reminder that even amidst change, stability and memory persist. Each cluster, in its own way, holds a record of cosmic history, silently sharing its story with anyone who pauses to listen. Some clusters appear embedded within gas clouds, cocooned in faint, glowing nebulae. These are the nurseries of the next generation, where gravity compresses gas into new stars, gently adding to the luminous community. You float among them, sensing the slow transformation of matter into light, the subtle spark of energy that marks the birth of new stars. There is a quiet rhythm here, a meditation on cycles of life, creation, and continuity that unfolds without urgency. Clusters vary not only in age but also in density and shape. Some are tight, almost spherical, holding stars closely in gravitational embrace. Others are looser, elongated, stretching along the galaxy's arms or drifting toward the halo. You notice the diversity in these stellar neighborhoods, each unique, each contributing to the overall texture of the galaxy. It is a lesson in both individuality and unity, a reflection of cosmic patience and persistence. As you drift farther from the central core, You notice the faint glow of globular clusters, ancient gatherings of stars that orbit the galaxy like quiet sentinels. Their light is soft, muted, yet steady, a gentle presence against the dark expanse of interstellar space. You sense their longevity, the patient endurance that allows them to persist through countless galactic rotations, mergers, and star-forming events. They are reminders that the universe carries its history forward, quietly preserving memory in clusters of light. The interactions between clusters and their surroundings are subtle but persistent. Gravity tugs gently, shaping orbits and guiding stars along paths that maintain the cluster's integrity. Nearby clouds of gas and dust may drift past, influenced by the cluster's mass, creating delicate ripples in their structure. You feel the meditative harmony of these interactions, the way motion, force, and energy coexist without haste, creating stability out of motion, light out of matter. You notice the balance between chaos and order in the galaxy's neighborhoods. Young clusters shimmer with the energy of potential, older clusters glow with calm endurance, and gas clouds drift with quiet purpose. Each neighborhood, in its way, contributes to the rhythm of the galaxy, a soft, persistent pulse that flows through spiral arms and elliptical regions alike. You sense a deep, contemplative beauty here, a reminder that life, whether cosmic or personal, flourishes best when guided by both structure and gentle freedom. Even the smallest clusters have their stories. You drift alongside one that contains only a few dozen stars, its light soft but distinct. You feel the intimacy of this tiny community, a reminder that even the smallest gatherings hold significance in the vastness of the cosmos. Each star contributes to the shared rhythm, shaping the cluster's character and leaving a mark on the broader galaxy. It is a quiet reflection on interconnectedness, on the way small presences matter in a larger system. You drift gently above the spiral arms, feeling the lingering pulse of stars and gas as the galaxy continues its quiet evolution. Yet, beyond this gentle rhythm, you notice other galaxies in the distance, moving slowly across the dark expanse of space. They approach one another with deliberate grace, guided by gravity's invisible hand. You sense the inevitability of their encounter, not as a violent crash, but as a slow-motion ballet, where each star, gas cloud, and cluster is choreographed by forces unseen. As the galaxies draw closer, their outer edges stretch and elongate. Tidal forces tug softly at their spiral arms, pulling streams of stars outward in delicate ribbons. You float along one of these tidal tails, feeling the subtle energy of stars being nudged from their previous orbits. There is no rush in this process. Time here is patient, measured, stretching across millions of years. Each motion is deliberate, like a brushstroke in a cosmic painting, a quiet expression of balance and transformation. You notice faint bridges of gas connecting the approaching galaxies. These streams shimmer softly in the faint light of embedded stars, forming luminous arcs that stretch across the void. You drift along one, sensing the delicate interplay of forces. Gravity pulls and shapes, yet it does so with patience, nudging stars and clouds into new arrangements rather than tearing them apart abruptly. The universe feels careful here, each collision a measured step toward creating new forms and patterns. The spiral arms warp gracefully under mutual gravitational attraction. You observe the curvature and twisting of these arms, noting how clusters of stars respond with gentle oscillations. Stars adjust their orbits slowly, tracing arcs that ripple outward like water disturbed by a soft breeze. You sense a quiet poetry in this, a meditative rhythm that contrasts with any notion of violent chaos. Even in collisions, the cosmos unfolds with a serene and deliberate elegance. Gas clouds respond differently to these encounters. Some compress, igniting new bursts of star formation in soft, luminous regions. Others stretch and thin, tracing faint lines of matter that will gradually integrate into the merged galaxy. You float among these clouds, feeling the subtle energy of creation in motion. Star formation here is neither sudden nor frantic. It is a patient, unfolding process, a quiet act of creation emerging from the gentle pressures of gravitational interplay. You notice individual stars moving along curved paths, their orbits subtly altered by the presence of the neighboring galaxy. Some trace long, looping trajectories, stretching far into space before slowly returning. Others drift toward newly formed clusters, joining stars they have never shared space with before. There is a sense of connection in these movements, an intricate weaving of histories and futures, each star participating in a larger, ongoing dance. The galaxy's cores are not untouched by these interactions. The central regions respond to the gravitational tugs with slight adjustments, shifting the orbits of stars and clusters. You drift over the cores, noticing the soft, almost imperceptible waves propagating outward, like the gentle ripple of water across a still pond. These waves subtly reshape the internal structure, guiding stars into new orbits while maintaining the overall harmony. There is an elegance here, a quiet intelligence in how the galaxies adapt and evolve together. Even tidal tails exhibit subtle motion. Stars within these streams trace elongated arcs, stretching and bending as gravity nudges them along. You float alongside one of these tails, feeling the patient persistence of the star's motion. They carry fragments of history from their original galaxies, yet gradually begin to participate in the new structure being formed. There is a quiet beauty in this slow transition, a meditation on how old patterns fold into new ones with time and care. The halos of dark matter surrounding each galaxy also interact gently. Though invisible, you sense the subtle influence, the soft tug of gravitational webs intertwining. Dark matter ensures that the galaxies do not tear themselves apart, guiding their stars and clouds with patient consistency. You feel a sense of calm in observing this hidden framework, understanding that unseen forces can shape monumental events with a quiet, sustaining touch. You notice faint streams of light from young stars igniting within compressed clouds. These nascent stars trace luminous paths along tidal arcs, marking the slow creation of new stellar neighborhoods. You drift among them, sensing the gentle rhythm of energy and matter combining to form new life. Each star born in this process carries the memory of its environment, its formation influenced by both the past structures of the parent galaxies and the current forces shaping the encounter. Collisions also create regions of delicate chaos, where stars orbit in temporary misalignments before settling into new paths. You watch these movements with patient attention, feeling the universe's meditative pace. There is no abruptness, only gentle corrections, slow alignments, and the formation of patterns that will persist for millions of years. You sense a quiet reassurance here. Even in disruption, order emerges, guided by gravity and subtle forces. The visual spectacle of interacting galaxies is mesmerizing. Curved arms stretch like ribbons, tidal tails shimmer faintly, and star-forming clouds glow softly in the shadows. You float above the scene, absorbing the hypnotic cadence of motion. There is serenity in the slow unfolding of cosmic events, a reminder that vast change need not be hurried, and that the universe itself takes its time in crafting beauty and complexity. You feel a profound sense of continuity as the galaxies intertwine. Past histories, tidal remnants, dark matter halos, and streams of gas all merge into a new narrative. The motion is slow, deliberate, and soothing, a quiet ballet that invites contemplation. You notice that even across immense distances and timescales, the galaxy's interactions are not abrupt or chaotic but patient and precise, allowing creation to unfold naturally and gently. You drift gently above the central core of the merged galaxy, feeling the quiet pull of gravity from every star, gas cloud, and dust lane. At the very heart lies something unseen yet profoundly influential, the supermassive black hole. Though it emits no light, its presence is unmistakable. You sense it as a conductor, orchestrating the movement of stars and matter around it with a subtle, commanding rhythm that brings order to the galaxy's luminous ensemble. The black hole's influence extends far beyond the luminous core. Stars near the center trace elongated orbits, guided by its intense gravity, moving in patterns that are at once precise and organic. You follow a star along its elliptical path, feeling the tension and release of gravitational pull, like a note held and then softened in a symphony. There is an elegance here, a quiet precision that hums through the galaxy's structure, shaping motion without overt interference. Gas clouds, too, respond to the unseen conductor. Some spiral inward slowly, compressed by gravity into dense regions where new stars may form. Others orbit along curved paths, creating luminous arcs and faint ribbons of light. You float through these clouds, sensing how each movement is a response to the black hole's gentle yet persistent guidance. It is as if the galaxy itself is a carefully orchestrated piece of music, each star and cloud a note in an evolving composition. Clusters of stars near the core swirl in quiet harmony. Some drift along elliptical orbits, others trace tighter, faster loops. You notice the way their motion resonates with the black hole's pull, creating waves of gravitational energy that ripple outward. These waves are subtle yet profound, influencing the spiral arms, tidal streams, and even distant clusters. You feel the galaxy as a living instrument, played with patience, precision, and quiet intelligence. Occasionally, you glimpse matter falling toward the black hole, forming a thin, luminous accretion disk. The light emitted here is gentle, not harsh or blinding, illuminating surrounding stars and clouds with a soft glow. You sense the energy as a quiet pulse, a heartbeat that guides and shapes the inner galaxy. Even in these high-energy regions, there is rhythm, order, and calm. Each particle of matter follows a deliberate path, a testament to the black hole's subtle, orchestrating presence. The black hole's influence extends to the wider galaxy, though more gently. Stars in outer spiral arms feel the pull as a guiding hand, nudging them into steady orbits, ensuring the structure remains coherent. Even distant clusters and tidal streams respond to its gravitational symphony, their motion carefully aligned with the central rhythm. You feel the universe's balance here, the quiet integration of forces both visible and invisible, each contributing to the galaxy's harmony. You notice the interaction of multiple black holes in the case of recent mergers. Each exerts influence, their gravitational tugs creating a layered, dynamic rhythm. Stars trace complex paths, weaving around these invisible anchors in intricate patterns. You float among them, sensing the delicate choreography that allows chaos to coexist with order. The black holes are not chaotic themselves. They guide, shape, and harmonize, ensuring that the galaxy's evolution is both structured and alive. Gas clouds near the core respond with subtle compression and expansion, forming arcs and waves that propagate outward. You feel the slow pulse of creation, a rhythm dictated by gravitational orchestration. New stars ignite, clusters form, and light emerges in harmony with the invisible conductor at the heart. It is a gentle, meditative process, a cosmic ballet where every motion is a response to the central influence, yet nothing feels forced or hurried. Dark matter quietly enhances this orchestration. Though invisible, its halo provides a stabilizing framework, amplifying the conductor's reach across the galaxy. Stars, clusters, and clouds all move within this layered guidance, creating coherence from the vast complexity. You sense the synergy between what is seen and unseen, the interplay of forces that sustains the galaxy's balance. There is a quiet comfort in knowing that even the most massive and powerful influences operate in subtle, patient ways. The black hole's conduct extends to tidal streams and outer regions of the galaxy. Stars drawn outward during mergers trace arcs that slowly bend under gravitational guidance. You follow one of these arcs, sensing the quiet pull of order on what might seem like random motion. The galaxy's form is maintained not through rigidity, but through subtle, persistent shaping, a continuous act of orchestration that balances energy, matter, and time. You notice the patterns emerging as the galaxy stabilizes. Spiral arms twist and settle, star clusters orbit gracefully, and gas clouds form luminous arcs. All these motions echo the central conductor's rhythm, a gentle pulse that brings coherence to the immense structure. You feel the galaxy as a living entity, its inner life guided by invisible hands, its evolution a slow, precise, and profoundly beautiful performance. Even as you drift away from the core, you sense the ongoing influence of the black hole. Stars, gas, and clusters continue to respond, their motion a reflection of the central rhythm. The galaxy breathes with quiet order, a meditative balance maintained by forces both luminous and hidden. You feel the profound harmony of a system in which the most powerful presence acts not through chaos, but through patience, subtlety, and careful guidance. You drift slowly above the luminous core of the galaxy, feeling the rhythm of stars and gas as they orbit in quiet, harmonious patterns. Yet as you wander farther along the spiral arms, your attention is drawn to faint streams of light stretching across the darkness. These are the remnants of galaxies long since absorbed, stellar echoes drifting gently in the gravitational weave. They shimmer softly, tenuous and delicate, but their presence is enduring, a memory of cosmic events that unfolded millions or even billions of years ago. These streams are subtle, barely distinguishable against the faint glow of the galactic halo. Yet you notice their persistence, the quiet way they trace the paths of stars torn from their original homes. Each stream is a whisper of history, a reminder that galaxies are not isolated, but participants in a long, ongoing conversation of creation, transformation, and sometimes quiet destruction. You follow one of these arcs, feeling the gentle tug of gravitational memory guiding the stars along their new paths. You float along a particularly bright stream, noticing stars of varying age and color. Some are young, born from gas stirred by the tidal forces of past collisions. Others are older, remnants from the parent galaxy that formed long before the merger. You sense a layered story here, the quiet layering of time and space, where events separated by millions of years converge into luminous ribbons. Each star carries a fragment of a vanished world, a memory preserved in light. Gas clouds also linger within these streams. They are diffuse, faintly glowing, and shaped by gravitational tides. Some may collapse in the future to form new stars, continuing the cycle of cosmic creation. You drift through these clouds, sensing the slow potential of matter waiting patiently to ignite. The universe here feels reflective, as if pausing to honor its own history, to remember the galaxies that contributed to the current form, while quietly preparing for the future. The streams bend and twist, curving through the halo like brushstrokes on an immense canvas. You notice the delicate interplay of motion, stars orbiting in gentle arcs, influenced both by the mass of the newly formed galaxy and by their own residual momentum. Even far from the core, the black hole's subtle influence can be sensed, maintaining order within this graceful chaos. It is as if every gravitational force, visible or hidden, contributes to preserving the memory of what once was. Clusters of stars within these streams reveal the story more vividly. Some remain tightly bound, remnants of dense stellar cores from absorbed galaxies. Others are scattered loosely, like soft sparks drifting into the dark. You float through these neighborhoods, sensing the quiet narratives embedded in their motion. The galaxy is alive with memory. Each orbit, each tidal ripple, tells a tale of encounter, transformation, and survival. The streams themselves are ephemeral yet enduring. Over millions of years, they will stretch, diffuse, and sometimes integrate completely into the surrounding galaxy. Yet in this moment, they exist as luminous threads linking past and present, reminders of the universe's patient continuity. You notice how each thread is unique, yet all are interconnected, part of a vast, meditative network of cosmic history. It is a gentle reflection on how every event leaves a trace, subtle but persistent. You sense the quiet rhythm of these echoes. Stars move in deliberate orbits, clouds drift slowly, and faint gravitational waves ripple outward. You float among them, feeling the temporal layering of events, how galaxies consumed in the distant past leave tangible, visible imprints. It is as if the universe preserves its memory in the motion of matter, recording every encounter, merger, and disruption in a slow, enduring meditation. Some streams shimmer with unexpected brightness. You notice regions where star formation has been triggered by the compression of gas in the tidal tails. Young stars ignite, casting soft light along the remnants, adding a gentle vibrancy to these ancient echoes. It is a quiet reminder that even the traces of what is gone can give birth to new light, new energy, and new potential. You drift among them, feeling the soft interplay of past and future in each luminous curve. Dark matter continues to play its quiet role here. Though invisible, it stabilizes the streams, preventing them from dispersing too quickly, allowing these cosmic memories to persist. You sense its presence as a gentle hand, holding fragile structures in place, guiding stars along their arcs, and preserving the narrative of long-ago events. It is subtle, almost imperceptible, yet its effect is profound, ensuring that echoes endure across vast stretches of time and space. You notice the contrast between the streams and the surrounding galaxy. The main spiral arms move with serene rhythm, guided by the black hole's orchestration. The streams, however, carry the lingering chaos of past interactions, a quiet tension that is gradually absorbed into the overall harmony. You sense the patience of the universe in balancing these elements, allowing memory to persist, while slowly integrating it into a cohesive whole. Clusters embedded within the streams offer insight into the history of absorption. Some retain their original shapes, dense and cohesive, while others have been stretched and dispersed by tidal forces. You float past them, noticing how the collective motion of stars in these remnants echoes the dynamics of their parent galaxies. Each cluster is a small chronicle of past life, a repository of luminous memory quietly tracing the galaxy's transformative journey. You drift farther into the halo, observing faint, extended streams that connect the galaxy to its distant neighbors. These are whispers of encounters from eons past, bridges formed during long-forgotten collisions. You follow the subtle arcs, sensing the lingering gravitational influence of galaxies that no longer exist as separate entities. Even in absence, their stories remain, a quiet testament to the persistence of cosmic memory. Time feels expansive here, stretched across billions of years. You sense the enduring patience of the universe, which records every encounter in luminous traces, weaving history into matter and motion. The echoes of ancient galaxies remind you that even in a seemingly empty space, there is memory, continuity, and quiet resonance. You float along, absorbing the soft glow, feeling both the vastness and intimacy of this cosmic narrative. You float above the galaxy, watching its spiral arms unfurl like flowing ribbons of light and matter. These vast streams of stars, gas, and dust twist gently around the galactic core, carrying energy and shaping the landscape of creation. You sense their motion as a slow, deliberate current, moving in a rhythm that is both predictable and endlessly fascinating. There is a serene elegance to the way these arms guide stars along their luminous paths, a quiet structure that supports life and motion without hurry or urgency. The arms themselves are not rigid, nor are they static. They ripple softly, responding to the gravitational pull of the central black hole and the subtle nudges of star clusters, gas clouds, and dark matter halos. You follow a winding arm, drifting alongside stars as they trace gentle arcs, their motion reflecting the underlying patterns of the galaxy. It is as if you are floating on a river of light, carried along by currents invisible yet deeply felt. Gas clouds trace the contours of the spiral arms, glowing faintly in ultraviolet and infrared hues. Some are compressed into dense regions, ready to birth new stars, while others drift lazily along the curves, their motion guided by the galaxy's overall flow. You float among them, feeling the soft interplay between gravity, motion, and time. Each cloud is a vessel of potential, quietly moving with the current until the moment of creation arrives. Star clusters embedded within the arms respond subtly to these currents. Young clusters move swiftly along the curves, tracing tight orbits, while older clusters drift more slowly, their stars orbiting in serene harmony. You notice how each cluster's motion contributes to the overall rhythm, reinforcing the gentle, persistent flow of the arms. It is a dance of energy and matter, delicate yet enduring, weaving the galaxy into a cohesive, graceful whole. Tidal interactions from past mergers leave faint echoes along the spiral arms. You sense streams of stars stretched into elongated ribbons, bending and curving as they follow the arm's contours. These remnants add texture to the currents, subtle ripples that remind you of the galaxy's dynamic history. Even in these faint perturbations, there is rhythm, a quiet, meditative pulse that harmonizes with the larger flow. The spiral arms are not uniform. They widen and narrow, ebb and flow, like rivers responding to hidden channels beneath the surface. You drift along these variations, sensing the quiet shifts in density and energy. Regions of high star formation glow with soft, vibrant light, while quieter areas offer calm, shadowed stretches. There is a comforting balance here, a reminder that energy and rest coexist, even on a cosmic scale. Stars themselves are guided gently by these currents. They move in arcs and ellipses, some tracing long, looping paths, others following tighter trajectories. You float alongside one, feeling the gentle tug of neighboring stars, the subtle pull of the galactic core, and the underlying current of the spiral arm itself. Each star is a note in a vast symphony, its motion both unique and harmonized with the collective flow. Dark matter quietly shapes the spiral currents, providing a stabilizing influence that ensures the arms maintain coherence over millions of years. You sense this invisible presence as a steadying hand, guiding stars and gas along predictable paths while allowing flexibility and gentle motion. Without it, the galaxy would lose its structure, the spiral arms dispersing into chaotic scatterings of stars and clouds. The quiet presence of unseen forces adds a sense of calm reliability to the dynamic currents you observe. Nebulae drifting within the arms glow like soft watercolor strokes, their light diffused and gentle. Some ripple as nearby supernovae push waves of energy through the interstellar medium. Others compress in response to gravitational nudges, igniting new stars in a slow, luminous process. You sense the galaxy as a living organism, breathing softly along the spiral arms, each cloud, cluster, and star contributing to its steady pulse. You notice the interplay between motion and time. Stars in the inner arms orbit more rapidly, their paths curving tightly, while those in outer arms trace slower, wider arcs. This differential motion stretches and folds the spiral patterns, maintaining their iconic shapes over eons. You drift along these arcs, feeling the meditative patience of the galaxy as it balances speed, gravity, and energy to sustain its flowing form. The spiral arms also carry subtle ripples from interactions with neighboring galaxies. Even faint gravitational tugs create waves that travel along the arms, shaping star formation, clusters, and gas flows. You sense how these influences are absorbed slowly, integrated into the existing currents without disruption. It is a quiet lesson in cosmic adaptability. The galaxy responds to change with grace and continuity, preserving rhythm and harmony even amidst external perturbations. Light travels along these currents, illuminating clusters, nebulae, and tidal streams. You float among these luminous paths, feeling the gentle guidance of the arms as they shepherd stars and matter. Each arc, each twist, each gentle curve feels like a river carrying both energy and memory, a quiet meditation on motion, persistence, and cosmic patience. You notice how clusters, gas clouds, and individual stars interact within these flows. Gravity nudges stars into shared orbits, while gas compresses into luminous arcs. Some stars drift along in solitary paths, yet even they are subtly guided by the gentle currents of the spiral arms. You feel the galaxy as an intricate tapestry, each component contributing to a cohesive, slow-moving, and endlessly calming rhythm. Even the faintest stars are participants in this meditative dance. They trace arcs that bend around massive clusters and gas clouds, adding subtle notes to the galaxy's ongoing symphony. You sense a gentle order emerging from countless individual motions, a quiet harmony created without haste, where every element has its place and time. You drift along the gentle curves of the spiral arms, noticing the soft undulations of stars, clusters, and nebulae. Yet amidst the luminous dance, there is another presence, subtle and almost imperceptible, the galactic wind. It flows quietly, like a whisper through the cosmic branches, composed of gas driven outward by supernovae, stellar radiation, and energetic feedback from the central black hole. Though you cannot see it directly, you sense its gentle movement, shaping the galaxy with a patient, invisible hand. These winds are soft yet persistent. Streams of charged particles drift along the galactic plane, sweeping across star-forming regions and diffuse gas clouds. You float beside one, feeling the delicate pressure it exerts, nudging clouds toward compression, stretching others, and subtly rearranging matter over millions of years. The galaxy seems alive with a breathing motion, exhaling and inhaling, as these invisible currents interact with stars and clusters. You notice that galactic winds are not uniform. Some flow more strongly along the poles of the galaxy, rising above the disk like soft pillars of energy. Others move along the spiral arms, gently brushing against clusters and nebulae. You imagine these currents as a kind of silent conversation, where each region of the galaxy responds to the pressure and flow, guiding matter in quiet patterns that enhance star formation and regulate energy distribution. Gas clouds respond to these whispers of wind in fascinating ways. Some compress slightly, igniting bursts of star formation, while others stretch and thin, dispersing across the halo. You drift through one such cloud, sensing the subtle tension of particles being nudged along invisible pathways. Within this gentle interaction lies the galaxy's patience. Creation does not rush, but unfolds gradually, sculpted by the persistent, whispering breath of wind and gravity together. The effect of these winds on young clusters is equally delicate. Stars within these groups adjust their orbits slowly, influenced by the soft pressure of surrounding gas. Some drift closer together, others are nudged into wider paths, yet the overall harmony remains. You sense a quiet choreography, as though the galaxy itself were conducting a slow, meditative symphony, where every star, cloud, and particle responds to the subtle baton of unseen energy. Even the central black hole contributes to these cosmic breezes. Matter accreting near the core is occasionally expelled in narrow jets or diffused outflows, carrying energy far into the galactic halo. You imagine these currents rising gently, stretching streams of gas into vast, ethereal arcs. Though powerful, these outflows are measured, not chaotic. Their motion is integrated into the larger rhythm of the galaxy, reinforcing balance and continuity rather than disrupting it. You notice how galactic winds interact with tidal streams and spiral arms. The soft flows can compress gas along the edges of arms, enhancing star formation, or disperse tenuous matter in the halo, smoothing irregularities. You drift alongside one such interaction, sensing the patient persistence of energy shaping matter, subtle yet profound. It is a meditation on influence, invisible forces guiding creation, unseen but undeniably present. Stars themselves feel the gentle nudge of these winds. In denser regions, the flow may slightly alter stellar orbits, encouraging subtle interactions that bring clusters closer or stretch tidal tails further. You float among these stars, sensing the quiet rhythm of change. Nothing feels abrupt, every motion is measured, like the slow sway of a tree branch in a calm breeze. The galaxy breathes in unison with the wind, a symphony of matter responding to unseen energy. The diffuse halo of the galaxy is alive with soft currents as well. Gas flows outward from the core, carrying material into the interstellar and circumgalactic medium. You sense these extended movements as gentle waves, rising and falling in a subtle pattern that echoes across light years. Each wave touches distant clusters, clouds, and stars, preserving balance, shaping future star formation, and contributing to the galaxy's enduring equilibrium. You notice the interplay of energy and gravity. Wind flows push matter along paths that gravity subtly redirects, creating arcs, filaments, and delicate ripples. You float through one such filament, sensing the patience required for structure to emerge. The galaxy does not act with haste. Even the most energetic forces are harmonized over millions of years, producing patterns that are both graceful and enduring. Young stars born within compressed gas clouds illuminate the wind's subtle influence. Their soft light traces the paths of these invisible currents, highlighting arcs, filaments, and expanding shells of matter. You drift among them, feeling the gentle feedback loop. Stars form, their energy drives the wind sculpts the gas, and new stars emerge. The galaxy seems to breathe through this cycle, each exhalation shaping the next phase of creation. Even faint, distant winds carry influence across the galaxy. You sense particles drifting slowly from halo regions toward the outskirts of spiral arms, delivering energy and momentum that may take millions of years to manifest visibly. This patient, almost imperceptible motion connects regions separated by vast distances, reminding you that the galaxy operates as an interconnected, meditative whole, where every motion, no matter how small, contributes to the larger rhythm. You notice the calm harmony of these flows. Though invisible and gentle, they integrate seamlessly with the motion of stars, clusters, and spiral arms. The galaxy's dance is guided not only by gravity but also by these whispering winds, shaping creation without force, sculpting motion without urgency. You feel the patience of the cosmos here, the meditative care with which energy moves through space, nurturing both structure and growth. You drift gently above the spiral arms, leaving behind the flowing currents of gas and the quiet hum of galactic winds. In the dim outskirts, scattered throughout the halo and dense clusters, you notice a soft, understated glow. These are the remnants of stars, the final whispers of lives that have burned for millions or billions of years. White dwarfs shine with quiet persistence, neutron stars pulse like distant beacons, and the faint traces of supernovae stretch across the darkness, delicate arcs of memory and light. Each remnant carries the story of its former star. White dwarfs are the hushed embers of once luminous suns, small yet dense, their light subdued but steady. You drift alongside one, feeling the patient constancy of its glow. Though the star has ceased fusion, it continues to radiate faintly, a gentle echo of its past vitality. It is a quiet meditation on persistence, a reminder that even in endings, there is light. Neutron stars appear as tiny points of intense energy, spinning in precise rhythms. Some pulse with soft beams, others rotate silently, their immense density invisible yet deeply felt. You float near one, sensing its compact gravity warping the space around it ever so subtly. There is power here, contained and controlled, a reminder that endings can harbor strength, that transformation carries its own quiet majesty. Supernova remnants stretch across the void, intricate filaments of gas and dust illuminated faintly by the light of new stars forming within them. You drift through these ghostly arcs, feeling the echo of explosive energy long dissipated, yet still shaping the galaxy. These remnants are both an ending and a beginning, the ashes of a star fueling creation, scattering elements that will form new suns, planets, and perhaps life. You sense the meditative rhythm of this cycle, death, transformation, and rebirth woven into the galaxy's fabric. You notice patterns in the distribution of these remnants. White dwarfs cluster near the spiral arms, tracing the paths of previous generations of stars. Neutron stars appear both in the core and the halo, their pulsing signals reaching across vast distances. Supernova remnants arc through the interstellar medium, gently stirring the gas around them. You float among these traces, sensing the quiet continuity of matter, the persistent flow of energy, and the enduring memory of past lives. The faint glow of these remnants highlights the delicate interplay between gravity and motion. White dwarfs orbit in long, stable paths, often in tandem with other stars or clusters. Neutron stars follow curved trajectories shaped by both their initial explosion and the galaxy's gravitational field. Supernova filaments drift and expand slowly, guided by the subtle push and pull of surrounding matter. Each motion is a note in the galaxy's meditative symphony, a testament to persistence and change over cosmic timescales. You drift closer to a cluster of white dwarfs, feeling the accumulated quiet energy of hundreds of these stellar echoes. Each star emits a pale, gentle light, enough to trace the outlines of nearby gas and dust. You notice how this subdued glow softens the darkness, creating a calm, ambient illumination that seems to celebrate the continuity of existence. Even in endings, the universe offers a form of serenity, a lingering presence that comforts and inspires. Neutron stars and pulsars add a different quality to the galaxy's meditative landscape. You sense the rhythm of their pulses, subtle and steady, like a heartbeat echoing across space. These beats are not loud or urgent. They are measured, precise, and calming. You imagine tracing the light from one, following its rotation, feeling both the immense density of its matter and the quiet persistence of its energy. It is a reminder that even in the aftermath of extreme events, balance and order can emerge. Supernova remnants tell a story of transformation on a vast scale. Expanding clouds of gas ripple softly through the interstellar medium, enriching it with heavy elements. You float through one such remnant, feeling the gentle motion of particles drifting outward, a slow dispersal that will seed future generations of stars. It is a meditation on continuity. Energy may fade, structures may dissolve, yet the matter and influence remain, carried forward into new forms and possibilities. You notice how these remnants interact with their surroundings. Gas clouds compressed by supernova shockwaves ignite gentle bursts of star formation. Tidal streams bend slightly in response to the dispersed material. Even the spiral arms subtly adjust, their flows nudged by the presence of this distributed energy. You feel the galaxy as a living system, where death and creation coexist in quiet harmony, each influencing the other with patient deliberation. The faint illumination of white dwarfs, neutron stars, and supernova remnants creates a soft, layered glow across the halo and spiral arms. You drift through this interplay of light, sensing the slow rhythms of matter and energy folding back into the galaxy's structure. Each remnant contributes to the galaxy's coherence, preserving history while enabling new growth. There is a profound sense of patience here, a reminder that endings are never final, and every form of light has its role in the larger story. You reflect on the cycle you have witnessed, stars forming, living, dying, and leaving behind luminous traces that continue to shape the galaxy. White dwarfs, neutron stars, and supernova remnants are not merely remnants. They are enduring participants in a cosmic meditation. Their gentle glow illuminates both space and time, allowing you to sense the vast tapestry of past, present, and future woven into the galaxy's arms. You drift above the galaxy, feeling the subtle, measured pulse of its life. The chaotic swirl of the merger has softened into gentle motion. Stars move in smooth arcs, tracing their orbits with quiet predictability. Gas clouds have settled into soft, luminous sheets, and the once turbulent currents of spiral arms have calmed into flowing, meditative paths. You sense the galaxy exhaling after a long, cosmic dance, the energy of collision and turbulence slowly integrating into a serene, patient equilibrium. The black hole at the galaxy's center continues its silent vigil. Its pull is steady, unwavering, shaping the inner orbits of stars with quiet authority. You drift closer, sensing its gravitational influence as a calm, organizing force rather than a destructive one. Around it, stars trace intricate paths, moving in harmony with one another, a measured rhythm that soothes and reassures. The core feels alive yet still, a heart that beats in silent continuity, guiding the motions of countless luminous travelers. Clusters of stars, once jostled and scattered by the merging forces, now glide in composed, elliptical orbits. You float among them, noticing how some younger clusters carry the energy of formation, vibrant and glowing. While older clusters hum with the wisdom of age, their stars steady and luminous. There is a harmony here that speaks of reconciliation, the blending of histories, the integration of chaos into order, and the patient crafting of a new cosmic narrative. Gas clouds drift through the settled arms of the galaxy with quiet grace. Some carry the soft promise of future star formation, illuminated faintly by nearby clusters, while others float like translucent veils, casting gentle shadows across the disk. You sense the measured flow of matter, a calm continuity that nurtures creation without rush or disruption. Each cloud seems to understand its place within the grander motion, moving with deliberate gentleness, contributing to the galaxy's tranquil rhythm. The spiral arms, once twisting wildly in response to tidal interactions and merging forces, now flow like serene rivers. Stars follow them effortlessly, tracing paths that curve gently and smoothly, each orbit a quiet, meditative gesture. You drift along one arm, feeling the subtle push and pull of gravity, noticing how every star moves in a soft symphony, their collective motion a reflection of the galaxy's newly established calm. Even the faintest stars feel part of this gentle orchestration, drifting along with patient purpose. Tidal streams from past mergers still linger at the galaxy's edges, faint and delicate. They no longer disrupt the structure but ripple softly in harmony with the surrounding motion. You follow one of these streams, sensing its quiet persistence, the way it stretches across the halo like a memory of previous encounters. These remnants are neither chaotic nor forgotten. They are integrated, their presence adding texture and depth to the galaxy's new, serene form. The galaxy's halo glows softly, enriched by dark matter that continues to stabilize and shape the vast structure. Though invisible, you sense its comforting presence, holding stars, clusters, and clouds in gentle alignment. Even the wisps of material far from the core move predictably, responding to a quiet, guiding framework. The galaxy feels complete, balanced, and self-contained, a testament to the patient, harmonious interplay of visible and invisible forces. Supernova remnants and faint echoes of stellar deaths contribute to this quietude. Their diffuse light softly illuminates surrounding gas, while the energy they released long ago has dissipated into steady, integrated motion. White dwarfs and neutron stars continue their gentle arcs, pulsing faintly, their presence a quiet reminder of the life cycles that feed this new, calm galaxy. You feel a profound sense of continuity, past, present, and future woven together in a slow, reflective tapestry. You notice subtle flows of gas driven by the lingering influence of galactic winds. They move gently, sculpting matter without haste, shaping regions of potential star formation in a quiet, deliberate rhythm. These flows are not disruptive, they are patient guides, facilitating growth and change while preserving overall equilibrium. You sense the galaxy as a living organism, breathing softly, its motions deliberate, patient, and serene. Clusters near the core glow faintly, their stars tracing elliptical orbits in a delicate pattern. You drift among them, feeling the balance of gravitational forces, the quiet hum of energy conserved and redistributed. Each motion is measured, intentional, yet gentle. There is no rush here, only the enduring flow of cosmic energy, settling into a rhythm that nurtures stability, growth, and the continued unfolding of the galaxy's story. The central black hole continues to anchor the galaxy's heart. Though immense in mass and influence, its effect now feels composed and controlled. Stars orbit predictably, clusters glide with steady momentum, and gas flows softly along defined paths. You sense the profound patience of this gravitational conductor, orchestrating a complex symphony of matter and energy with subtlety, wisdom, and care. Even in the outer halo, faint streams of matter and scattered clusters drift in measured paths. These remnants of past interactions ripple softly, harmonizing with the motions of the inner galaxy. You float among them, feeling the quiet integration of countless histories, the delicate layering of time, energy, and matter that creates the galaxy's new, composed form. Every particle, every star, Every cloud moves with serene purpose. Light from distant stars glimmers across the settled galaxy. You notice the soft reflections, the interplay of illumination and shadow, the gentle dance of photons traveling through gas and dust. There is a quiet poetry in this movement, a reminder that even light participates in the galaxy's calm, flowing rhythm. It is a meditation on balance, order, and patient continuity, the gentle affirmation that the universe carries on in reflective harmony. You drift through the calm galaxy, noticing the gentle pulse of stars and gas settling into equilibrium. Yet even in this quiet, patient landscape, another rhythm emerges, the travel of light across unimaginable distances. Every photon around you carries a story, emitted long ago by stars, clusters, and galaxies. Some began their journey millions of years ago, leaving their birthplaces to traverse the dark, empty reaches of space, until they reach your gaze now. You feel time bending and stretching, compressed into these tiny messengers of light. You focus on a single star, one that exploded into a supernova eons ago. Its light began traveling outward at the moment of its final breath, a tiny pulse escaping the gravitational cradle of its birthplace. You follow this photon along its vast path, imagining the dark void it has crossed, drifting through emptiness that seems infinite yet strangely intimate. Time here is fluid, the past is present, carried gently by waves of energy that move unhurriedly, yet faithfully, through the cosmic sea. Galaxies merged long before you arrived in this region, yet the light from those events continues to unfold around you. Streams of photons trace the arcs of stars and clouds, illuminating tidal tails, spiral arms, and star clusters as if history itself is painting the galaxy in real time. You feel a meditative sense of connection, witnessing events that occurred far away and long ago, yet arriving softly in your awareness, bridging immense distances and durations. Even the faintest stars emit photons that drift endlessly through space. You notice one such dim, ancient star, its light weak yet persistent. The photons arrive at a steady pace, each carrying information about the star's temperature, composition, and age. You imagine tracing their path backward through space and time, following the story of a life that existed millions of years before you floated into this galaxy. Every particle of light becomes a quiet ambassador of the past, a gentle whisper that bridges cosmic eons. You sense how light interacts with matter along its journey. Dust clouds scatter photons, creating faint glows that highlight nebulae and the subtle contours of interstellar gas. Some light is absorbed and re-emitted, each photon participating in a slow, graceful dance with its surroundings. You drift through these illuminated regions, feeling both the motion of matter and the patient passage of light, the two intertwined in a gentle, meditative rhythm that stretches across the galaxy. Clusters of stars contribute their own light, blending into a faint collective glow that traces the underlying structure of the galaxy. You float above these clusters, noticing how the combined illumination reveals tidal streams, faint arms, and lingering remnants of past mergers. The light feels soft yet purposeful, guiding your awareness through the galaxy, tracing patterns both ancient and enduring. You feel a connection to the vast network of energy, aware that every photon carries a fragment of memory, a fragment of time itself. You notice the influence of gravitational lensing, where massive objects subtly bend light along its path. Photons that began their journey in one region are redirected, curving gracefully around unseen masses before reaching you. You drift alongside these warped beams, sensing how gravity shapes the travel of light, bending history and memory into arcs that reveal the unseen architecture of the universe. Even in motion, there is harmony, an intricate, slow choreography that sustains the galaxy's meditative rhythm. Some photons have traveled for millions of years, passing through multiple generations of stars and clusters. You follow a beam emitted during the early moments of a distant galaxy's formation, observing its faint glow and tracing the long, patient journey it has made. Every wave of light carries energy, information, and history. You feel a profound intimacy with the cosmos, aware that the light you see now reflects events from a past you cannot physically touch, yet can perceive with gentle attention and imagination. You notice how light interacts with the halo of the galaxy, scattering across diffuse gas and faint dark matter clouds. The illumination is subtle, creating soft gradients of brightness that reveal hidden structures. You drift through these regions, feeling how photons illuminate both matter and emptiness, revealing the interplay of presence and absence, form and void. It is a meditation on time itself. Light bridges space, memory, and perception, bringing together what is distant and what is near in a quiet, reflective flow. The pulses of neutron stars, the faint glimmers of white dwarfs, and the lingering glow of supernova remnants all contribute to this gentle interplay. Their photons arrive at slightly different times, tracing paths through the settled galaxy and halo. You float among these rays, sensing the continuity of energy, the persistence of motion, and the delicate balance that allows light to travel unhurriedly through the cosmos, carrying both history and wonder. You consider the scale of time embedded in these journeys. A photon emitted by a young star millions of years ago is just now arriving, reminding you that the universe is vast and patient. It teaches quiet humility and introspection, a sense that even the tiniest particle of light participates in a dance that spans eons. You feel connected, as if by witnessing these photons, you too are part of the galaxy's memory, a conscious observer of its enduring rhythm. The soft glow of arriving photons illuminates tidal streams, spiral arms, and faint clusters, tracing patterns formed long before you arrived. You float through this gentle illumination, sensing how light creates intimacy across the immense distances of space. Time seems both expansive and immediate, stretching billions of years yet collapsing into the present moment through the patient arrival of photons. You feel a quiet wonder at the continuity of motion and energy, a reminder that the galaxy exists both in memory and in the light it projects now. You float above the settled galaxy, feeling the calm pulse of stars, clusters, and gas. Yet your attention turns outward, to the larger cosmos, where countless galaxies move in intricate patterns, colliding, merging, and reshaping one another. You sense the slow rhythm of these cosmic interactions, the ebb and flow of creation and transformation that mirrors the cycles of life itself. Every galaxy carries its own story, and the universe, in turn, becomes a reflective mirror, showing patterns of persistence, change, and growth across unimaginable scales. Tidal streams, once turbulent, now seem like soft etchings of history, remnants of past encounters between galaxies. You drift along one such stream, observing how it curves gracefully, stretching stars into faint arcs. It is a gentle record of motion, a reminder that even disruptive events ultimately fold into harmony over time. You sense the patient wisdom of the cosmos here, where chaos slowly gives way to equilibrium, and every interaction leaves a trace that informs future generations of stars. Star formation mirrors these cycles. Gas clouds collapse under gravity, forming clusters that glow softly with new light. You float among them, noticing how some regions are more vibrant, carrying the energy of recent formation, while others rest in quiet anticipation, waiting for the conditions to become just right. The galaxy seems to breathe through these processes, exhaling energy into space and inhaling potential, a rhythmic meditation on the balance between activity and stillness, between birth and rest. You notice echoes of past mergers in faint arcs of light. Remnants of consumed galaxies remain visible as tidal tails or diffuse streams, faint yet persistent. You drift along these paths, sensing how the universe preserves memory. Every interaction, every collision, every merger contributes to the cosmic narrative, adding depth and texture. The galaxy you inhabit now is both a product of its past and a canvas for the future, reflecting the subtle wisdom of time, patience, and interconnectedness. Even within spiral arms, you perceive cycles of motion and renewal. Stars move in measured arcs, clusters drift, and gas clouds circulate, following gentle patterns shaped by gravity and dark matter. You feel how these motions, though individually small, collectively mirror the grand cycles of the cosmos. Each orbit, each swirl of matter, is a reflection of balance, a meditation on how countless small movements converge into enduring patterns over eons. You sense the interplay of life and death on a cosmic scale. Stars are born, live their luminous lives, and eventually die, leaving remnants that contribute to new formations. Supernovae scatter elements that become the seeds for future stars, planets, and perhaps life itself. You drift through the halo, noticing faint glows of white dwarfs and neutron stars, their presence a soft echo of countless past cycles. In this, you recognize the quiet continuity of creation, endings that feed beginnings, and beginnings that carry echoes of the past. The galaxy itself becomes a mirror of patience and adaptation. Spiral arms twist and shift in response to gravitational nudges, tidal streams ripple gently from past encounters, and gas clouds subtly adjust their flows. You drift alongside these movements, sensing a deep wisdom in the measured pace of change. There is no urgency, no rush, only the steady, meditative rhythm of transformation that guides both the small and vast structures of the universe. You notice that galaxies themselves interact in reflective patterns. Collisions, mergers, and close encounters do not annihilate, but reshape, rearranging stars and gas into new forms. Each interaction leaves a mark, a whisper of memory that informs future dynamics. You float through a cluster of galaxies, sensing the dialogue of gravity, motion, and energy. Each galaxy carries its own history, yet participates in a shared, reflective conversation across space and time, teaching patience, resilience, and harmony. Light becomes a medium of reflection. Photons arriving from distant galaxies carry stories of past collisions, star formation, and supernovae. You drift along these beams, following their gentle arcs, sensing the time embedded within them. Each ray illuminates not just matter, but the patterns of cosmic memory. Light, in its patient journey, becomes a quiet messenger, revealing the interconnectedness of galaxies, the cycles of energy, and the reflective nature of the cosmos itself. You notice the subtle interplay between small and large scales. Individual stars, clusters, and gas clouds move in predictable rhythms, while galaxies themselves trace vast arcs across the universe. Each scale reflects the other, patterns within patterns, like ripples within ripples. You sense how the cycles of matter and energy at one level echo in the structures above, a meditation on the fractal elegance of creation. The universe teaches that reflection and repetition, measured and gentle, create enduring harmony. Even dark matter participates in this reflective meditation. Invisible yet influential, it guides the motion of stars and gas, shaping spiral arms, stabilizing galaxies, and facilitating the cycles you observe. You sense its quiet presence, a subtle, omnipresent hand that ensures continuity and balance. It mirrors the universe's patience, demonstrating how unseen forces, though mysterious, sustain the rhythm and coherence of cosmic reflection. You consider your own place in this mirrored universe. Floating amid cycles of stars, galaxies, and light, you feel a quiet resonance with the cosmos. Its rhythms of birth, growth, death, and renewal echo gently within you. You sense a profound kinship with the vast processes unfolding around you, a reflection of your own patience, curiosity, and capacity for understanding. The cosmos, in its quiet meditation, invites you to witness, to absorb, and to reflect alongside it. The galaxy around you glows softly in the ambient light of stars, clusters, and remnants. Spiral arms curve with gentle precision, tidal streams trace faint histories, and gas clouds drift in measured flows. You sense the interwoven cycles of energy and matter, the reflective symmetry of creation and dissolution. Every motion, every pulse, every whisper of light contributes to a meditation that spans eons, inviting you to feel the harmony of the universe's enduring patterns. You drift above the galaxy, noticing its calm, measured rhythm after the long journey of mergers, winds, and star formation. Yet your attention shifts outward, to the subtle conversations that occur across the vast expanse of space. Galaxies, though separated by millions of light-years, interact and influence one another in gentle, almost imperceptible ways. You sense these cosmic whispers, the gravitational nudges, the passing waves of energy, and the light that carries stories from one stellar city to another. Gravity is the primary language of this quiet dialogue. Even at great distances, massive galaxies subtly tug at their neighbors, shaping their motions, curving tidal streams, and stretching spiral arms. You drift along one such gravitational conversation, feeling the pull and counterpull of matter across unimaginable expanses. The interaction is not hurried or abrupt. It is patient, deliberate, and continuous, a slow exchange that shapes cosmic structures over millions of years. Light also carries messages across the void. Photons emitted by stars, clusters, and supernovae reach distant galaxies long after they are produced. You follow faint beams from a neighboring galaxy, imagining them tracing a path through empty space, carrying information about stellar births, deaths, and motions. Each ray is a messenger, a gentle whisper traveling across time and distance, connecting galaxies in a silent, poetic conversation. Even subtle waves, such as gravitational ripples, contribute to this dialogue. When massive objects accelerate or collide, they send distortions through the fabric of space-time itself. You sense these ripples reaching out, nudging distant stars and clouds, leaving soft traces that alter motion ever so slightly. Though imperceptible to casual observation, these whispers of gravity guide the dance of galaxies, shaping their interactions with patience and precision. You drift closer to a cluster of galaxies, noticing how their individual motions reflect mutual influence. Some galaxies swing slightly toward one another, pulled by gravity, while others drift apart, maintaining distance but still participating in the slow rhythm of cosmic conversation. You sense that no galaxy exists in isolation. Each one is part of a larger network, a tapestry of interaction and influence that is both subtle and profound. The exchange of energy is another form of whisper. Cosmic winds, radiation, and matter streaming from one galaxy can gently influence another. You imagine clouds of gas expelled by a supernova in a distant galaxy, slowly drifting toward neighboring systems. Though faint and diffuse, this matter contributes to the formation of new stars elsewhere, a quiet legacy of creation shared across space. The universe seems to converse in ways that are patient, subtle, and enduring. Even the vast emptiness between galaxies is filled with silent communication. Dark matter, invisible yet influential, shapes the flow of galactic movement, providing structure and continuity. You sense how its presence guides gravitational nudges, creating paths for interaction that allow galaxies to respond to each other without collision. The universe communicates not with sound, but with motion, energy, and structure, a language of elegance and patience. You notice echoes of past mergers carried across intergalactic space. Streams of stars and gas extend far from their origin, a gentle whisper of a collision long past. You follow one such stream, tracing the path of matter that connects galaxies separated by millions of light-years. It is a reflection of memory, a record of events that transcends immediate perception. The cosmos preserves these stories, allowing them to inform the movements and evolution of distant galaxies. Light continues to bridge these vast spaces. You follow photons emitted by ancient stars, traveling silently across the darkness, arriving now as if carrying a greeting from one galaxy to another. You sense the intimacy in this patient travel, how energy and information are preserved and conveyed with care. The universe feels less empty, more like a quiet neighborhood, where neighbors interact slowly, thoughtfully, and persistently over incomprehensible spans of time. Galactic interactions also manifest in subtle distortions. Spiral arms may twist slightly in response to a distant gravitational pull, halos may ripple gently, and tidal streams may elongate or curve toward another system. You float among these forms, noticing how each adjustment is a response, a reply, or an acknowledgement in the ongoing cosmic conversation. Even the faintest change carries meaning, a whisper of influence that travels through time and space. You sense a harmony in this dialogue. No galaxy dominates the conversation completely. Each participates with patience and restraint. Massive clusters influence smaller systems, yet the smaller galaxies respond and adapt, maintaining a balance that is both delicate and enduring. You feel a meditative rhythm in these interactions, a cosmic etiquette that values subtlety, continuity, and reflection above abrupt action. As you drift further, you imagine that every galaxy carries its own story, yet each is also a listener. Light, gravity, and energy allow them to communicate experiences, shaping collective evolution. You sense that this dialogue is not urgent or noisy, but thoughtful, a slow, enduring conversation that persists across eons. The universe becomes a quiet, reflective classroom, where observation, interaction, and response are measured, deliberate, and profound. You notice your own connection to this cosmic whispering. Observing galaxies interact through subtle forces, you feel part of this vast conversation. Though human and fleeting, your awareness mirrors the patience and attentiveness of cosmic forces. In this quiet reflection, you sense unity with the universe, a kinship born from observation, understanding, and the gentle recognition of continuity and connection. The galaxy's whispers are layered, overlapping, and intricate. Some conversations are immediate, gravitational tugs felt over millions of years. Others are delayed, carried by photons or cosmic winds that travel slowly across space. You float amid this intricate web, sensing the depth and patience required for such a dialogue to unfold. Each galaxy responds, adapts, and evolves in harmony with its neighbors, a testament to the enduring wisdom embedded in cosmic processes. You drift through the galaxy, sensing its final calm after the long dance of merging, tidal flows, and stellar formation. Spiral arms now curve gently, halos glow faintly, and streams of stars shimmer softly in the distance. Everything has settled into an equilibrium that feels timeless, measured, and serene. You notice the subtle interplay of light, gravity, and motion, all harmonizing in quiet meditation. The galaxy seems to exhale, and you feel yourself exhaling in tandem, floating gently through this luminous, peaceful expanse. Stars move in smooth, predictable orbits, tracing soft, arcing paths around the galactic core. White dwarfs, neutron stars, and the faint remnants of supernovae contribute delicate glows, illuminating surrounding gas and dust. You drift past clusters of stars, noticing the diversity of their ages, some still young and vibrant, others older and wiser, their light carrying the memory of countless years. Each star seems to hum its own quiet song, a resonance of existence that echoes softly across space. The central black hole continues its patient vigil, anchoring the core with steady gravity. Its pull guides the motions of surrounding stars and clusters without disruption, a calm orchestrator of cosmic rhythm. You drift near it, sensing the invisible contours of space warped subtly by its presence. There is power here, immense yet composed, a reminder that even the strongest forces in the universe can coexist with serenity, shaping structure with patience and precision. Gas clouds float through the spiral arms like soft veils, illuminated gently by nearby clusters. Some contain the seeds of future stars, their delicate composition hinting at creation yet to come. Others drift silently, diffuse and serene, casting subtle shadows and softening the glow of surrounding regions. You sense the patient continuity of matter and energy, flowing seamlessly from one form to another, shaping the galaxy's next cycles with quiet deliberation. Tidal streams and faint arcs of past mergers ripple gently in the outer halo, their motion slow and graceful. These remnants are no longer turbulent, they have been woven into the galaxy's structure, a soft record of previous encounters. You float along these arcs, sensing the memory they carry, the echoes of galaxies that once collided, of stars scattered and reformed, and of energy that continues to flow in subtle, enduring ways. Each curve, each trail, becomes a meditation on persistence, change, and integration. The spiral arms flow like calm rivers of starlight, carrying energy and matter across the galactic plane. You drift along one, noticing how stars and clusters glide effortlessly, following the gentle guidance of gravity. The rhythm of motion is slow, deliberate, and meditative. Even the faintest stars contribute to this harmony, moving in concert with larger structures, participating in a cosmic symphony that is both subtle and profound. You notice how light plays across the galaxy. Photons from distant stars illuminate clusters and gas clouds, tracing gentle arcs and soft gradients. Ancient light, traveling millions of years, carries stories of formation, death, and transformation. You follow these beams, sensing the quiet dialogue of the universe, a conversation carried across eons, connecting the past with the present, and guiding your attention toward the possibilities of the future. Dark matter cradles the galaxy, its invisible presence stabilizing structure and guiding motion. You sense its influence in the graceful flow of arms, the smooth orbits of clusters, and the soft shaping of halos. Though unseen, it is essential to the galaxy's equilibrium, a gentle reminder that invisible forces can be as vital as visible ones. The interplay of light, matter, and unseen gravity creates a meditative balance that fills you with a sense of calm and wonder. Star formation continues softly, in pockets of gas that drift undisturbed. New stars ignite quietly, their light gentle and unhurried. You drift among them, feeling the continuity of cosmic cycles, creation emerging from remnants, energy circulating in patient repetition, matter evolving with care. There is no urgency here, only the steady, mindful rhythm of existence, a reflection of time's unending and deliberate flow. The galaxy's halo glows with faint light from scattered stars and ancient remnants, casting soft illumination that reveals its delicate contours. You float through this halo, noticing how every particle of matter, every glimmer of light, contributes to the serene pattern of the whole. The vastness of the space does not overwhelm. It invites reflection, curiosity, and gentle awareness. Each star, each cloud, each remnant seems to participate in a quiet meditation, teaching lessons in balance, patience, and harmony. You feel the immense time scales embedded in the galaxy's calm. Stars, clusters, and gas clouds have moved, collided, and formed over millions of years. The galaxy itself has merged, reformed, and settled into a new, enduring shape. You sense the continuity of energy, the persistence of matter, and the quiet wisdom encoded in motion. The universe, in its patient unfolding, offers a profound meditation on time, change, and gentle endurance. Floating through the settled galaxy, you notice a sense of completeness, yet also quiet possibility. Creation continues, transformation persists, and new patterns are emerging, even in this calm. You drift among spiral arms, tidal streams, and glowing clusters, feeling that the galaxy is both a resting place and a stage for future growth. Its beauty is serene, timeless, and infinitely patient, inviting you to observe and reflect without hurry. You feel a kinship with the stars, clusters, and remnants around you. Their light, motion, and energy mirror your own awareness, your capacity for curiosity, and your ability to rest and reflect. In this quiet communion, you sense that you are part of the galaxy's ongoing story, a participant in its calm cycles, a witness to its meditative rhythm. The universe becomes intimate, familiar, and profoundly peaceful.